All right, what is up, everyone? I know I'm a little bit early, but I figured why not get started finally? Because I got a lot to cover today, and I don't really want to go too late here. A lot of stuff to do. I think I got everything set up. Everything should be working. It has been quite a while since I did a stream. Well, a DSP stream. Because I know I did a podcast like a little while earlier. But still, podcast not included. I'm still a little sketchy and rusty on streaming in general. So let's get started. Today's gonna be a Snort Hogan type of day, alright? I got a lot of Snort Hogan clips to go through. A lot of stuff to catch up on. I know it's been quite a while. I know I've been sick a lot, and I'm getting sick of being sick. Let me tell you that. It sucks. Second time I had COVID. And I'm vaccinated. I have all the vaccines and all that shit. How you doing, EV fan? Thanks for being here. So let's get started. No particular order. So I have older clips. I have new clips. I'm not really going in any real chronological order or anything like that. I'm just gonna go. We're just going bam, 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 clip, clip, clip. All right. Starting off with this one. Let's hope the sound works.
Well, let me tell you something, brother.
Seems like the sound's working okay.
Snort, snort, Hogan, drip, snort, snort. I got the drip.
Just to give you another piece of perspective, can you imagine right now if while all this is going on and I'm so busy with everything,
all right,
can you imagine if I had gone through with the documentary that I was talking about doing a couple months ago? I was supposed to start filming like right about now. So can you imagine me being in the middle of all these games that I'm already backlogged on?
Obviously, I have it sped up because this is a 20-minute clip just
and now
itself.
telling you guys, oh, by the way, now I can't stream. This week, you know, it's going to be a half week, entire days away,
be a half
and
week,
stuff like
dude.
that. You know, so, I mean, I think, quite honestly, I dodged a big bullet there. And what I mean by that is not to say that working with a documentary with Mike Klum is a bullet, but I don't
that's
think that,
exactly what you're
honestly,
saying.
with the situation I'm in my life, right, that I would have been able to handle that at all. It would have been overload. And again, as I've already reiterated,
And we're already having an RPG overload, so it would be double overload.
Documentary about me would have had to be done well. And basically, imagine if I'm just like at my wit's end, stressed out, overworked, and now it's going to end up not being that good, right?
Oh no,
you know,
the quality of DSP's streams would
dip. I would be a major part of the input of this thing. Now, how am I going to be creative? How am I going to be entertaining? How am I
You're not any of those things. You're not creative and you're not entertaining. What are you talking about?
To my wit's end, right? I don't think it would have worked, being honest, especially my lifestyle with how much that I work and everything. Imagine if, like, these weeks, I was like, by the way, guys, 3
you would
days
have
this
to
week,
make sacrifices.
The other 3 days, it's half days. Just because I'm, you know, filming all over the place. Oh, by the way, I also have to work on my taxes this month. Oh, by the way, we're in the midst of 300-hour games that I'm never going to finish, and there's more coming that I have to skip all of them now.
Well, you chose to play them, Phil.
Right? See, I think the difference here is when you look at someone who can work on a documentary, I'm going to be honest, it's probably someone who just has a lot of time, that they're not particularly doing something too important with their time, that they have time to do that shit. I don't, right? Like, I'm just constant. Everywhere I go is work, got stuff going on here, busy with my personal life. You know, I got shit going on.
Work.
I don't have
work
time to
my ass. What work are you doing?
So,
I'm playing too many RPGs.
I do think that I dodged a bullet there. And on top of that, people are saying, I guess, that Mike Klum is now working on a documentary with this guy, EDP.
Yes,
now, here's the thing.
Maybe
I know
this
nothing about this
EDP guy.
I've never followed him. I never watched his content. All I know is that he's infamously known on the internet that apparently he was caught out trying to meet with underage girls. I think that's what it is, right? I could be wrong, so don't quote me on that. But I think
I've seen a little bit of this. So get this, like, we're gonna be watching this guy fence sit an actual PDF file, because apparently even PDF files it's too hard, it's too much to actually, like, label the guy that, even though he is that and it's been proven that he is that, but we can't actually say PDF file is bad because we have Derek in chat. So that's always nice.
That, like, he was a YouTuber who was popular, and then at some point he got framed, essentially. Like, people were catfishing him.
Are you serious?
To show up to meet underage girls.
They catch the predator to him.
It was just a frame job. Like, they totally set him up to expose him on the internet for who he.
When you say, like, when he says framed, like, it insinuates that he was innocent and that he wasn't doing the thing that he was caught doing. You know what I mean? That's what framed insinuates, right? And yet you basically, that's what he was doing because he is a pedo.
He really was, but apparently some people say, well, why did he not go to jail? And apparently it's because the way that he was set up, it's not admissible as evidence in court, right? Like technically, because they set him up like that, no crime was ever committed, so he never.
Well, there was a crime committed. It just
behavior
wasn't punishable.
But apparently, he got totally canceled on the internet. He fell apart. He went from being a YouTuber
as he should have been
channel and everything to basically like, done. And hey, again, that's all I know from what I've heard, word of mouth. I've never watched a documentary. I haven't done research for myself. That's all I know.
And as we know, every single documentary is 100% true.
Because I will be honest with all of you, because people have been asking me about this for the past couple of days. Okay?
And I be honest? No, you
First
can't.
documentary Mike Klum does is on Boogie. The entire documentary is about Boogie basically being a miserable human being. The sad, dark life of Boogie. Right? But who made Boogie's life sad and dark? Was it...
Yeah, it was Boogie, and that's what Boogie wanted in the documentary. Mike Klum didn't make that documentary that way on his own choice. That's what Boogie wanted in a documentary, and that's what Boogie got.
Was it a group of people who just decided to, ruin his life? No, his life is sad and dark because he is sad and dark. And when you watch that documentary, you see the things in it that, he could improve, he could change for the better, and he just doesn't. He keeps engaging with trolls on social media. He keeps doing the awful life behaviors. He's a miserable wretch.
The same could be said of you, though, DSP. You're a miserable wretch. We watch you all the time talking about this and that and everything, and the same shit could be said about you. How you make constant mistakes and how you could be better and do this better and that better, and you just don't. Because you don't make improvements in your life. All this could be said about you.
Because of his own decisions and actions that don't change, correct? And I think what's supposed to happen is you watch it, you feel sorry for him, and it was supposed to turn his life around. Has it turned his life around? No.
I'm sure Boogie was hoping it would, but...
He freaking keeps doing this kind of almost degenerative content on the internet. He's not going to change. It's pretty
degenerative
obvious
content.
At this point, correct? So then, Mike Klum comes to me and says, I want to do a different kind of documentary with you. It would not be like Boogie's documentary. It would be very different.
I think you probably reached out to Mike Klum. I don't think Mike Klum originally reached out to you.
And downs. And yes, it's going to feature people who don't like you talking about you, right? But at the same time, you'll be able to clap back essentially and give your side of the story of everything going on, and we'll be able to accurately recount.
We've heard his side of the story every single fucking time he boots up his level 1 podcast. We get to hear his side of the story. We already know his side of the story because he never shuts the fuck up about playing victim. So the Mike Klum documentary, if it ever was gonna happen with DSP, it would have been the same thing as his level 1 documentary, level 1 podcast. It just would have been It would have just been DSP repeating the same fucking victim blaming segments he does on his podcast. That's all it would have been. It would have been a fucking victim sob story. Because we already know his side of the story.
What's happened to you and your business.
And now you know
years, and why so many people who literally don't know an actual fact about you don't like you. Right? And I like that. I absolutely like that idea. Right? And that was essentially what we were going for. It was supposed to be a fair level documentary that's going to cover the good and the bad. But basically, if you watched this, it wasn't a pity party documentary. It was going to be more of an honest, and there's going to be some comedy in it, and there was going to be other things in it. It was meant to be an entertaining piece. When you're making a documentary that's like 90 minutes long, you want people to be enjoying every second of it, not on board in this part or whatever, right? So there's
and it's hard to make DSP entertaining.
But of course, you guys were very apprehensive about it, saying, I don't know if this makes sense to do, because the only documentary that Mike Klum's done up to now is this Boogie documentary that doesn't sound like that, right? It's like basically he turned Boogie. Well, he didn't turn Boogie. Like, this was their idea, It was
Boogie's idea.
What he wanted to do was make Boogie look pathetic so that people would feel bad for him. And I said, that's not what I want at all. That's not what I want out of my documentary.
That's what was going to happen.
My life's not dark. I actually have a really good life, in regards to my work and my personal life. Just because a million people on the internet talk shit about me daily doesn't mean that I'm not actually in a positive place in my life. That's great. It's the opposite situation.
I tend to doubt that though, Phil. I don't know. There's some little bits of here and there that we can glean from your personal life that leads me to think that that is not
right?
correct.
So basically, the way I see it, it would have been very different. Okay, that's essentially what was discussed. That's what we're going to work on, a different kind of documentary. But now you're going to tell me the next documentary Mike Clum's going to do is this guy EDP, a guy who literally went from YouTube popularity to being exposed supposedly, and I got to say that because I don't know if there's concrete evidence or not.
Stop fence-sitting a pedophile.
Supposedly he was exposed for pedophilia, or at least accusations of pedophilia, was canceled, and literally no one wants anything to do with this guy anymore, right? So I guess the question is,
like, you would think if he was going to talk about EDP, he would have, like, actually looked into what he was accused of and what actually happened or something. But no, apparently not. He doesn't do any sort of research or anything like that. And then he's like, well, I don't know if I don't want to actually call him a pedophile, even though it was proven he is basically one, or was trying to solicitate for that. But no, he wants to fence sit it because, God forbid, he won't even take the stance that pedophilia is a bad thing because Derek is in his chat, and pretty sure DSP knows about Derek and all his salacious internet activities going on. And I wouldn't be too surprised if Derek has some kind of dirt on DSP about that kind of stuff, because we all know Leanna was under 18 when he was talking to her. So I'm pretty sure Derek probably has some kind of dirt on him. So that's why DSP's not willing to go full accusation PDF files are bad and everything like that.
What's the story?
So he fences
right?
it
maybe
instead.
that is the story, is to find out the true story of what happened. But from what everyone says, it's like a slam dunk case. Like, it's not like you can dispute it and say, oh, it was fake. Like, it happened. He was exposed for it.
It did happen. He was exposed for it.
Anymore.
Correct.
You know? So the thing is, I didn't even know anything about it until you guys told me a couple days ago. You're like, are you aware that Mike Clum's working with EDP? And I'm like, no. And then, of course, it starts showing up in my feed. Boogie has met with EDP, and they're sitting down to eat a meal, and the meal is like a bunch of Big Macs and powdered donuts. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, what the fuck? All right? Like, no, really, what the fuck? Two guys who are grossly obese sitting down to eat Big Macs and donuts together. Does that make any sense? Logically? Morally?
Morally? Like, what's so immoral about eating fast food and what the fuck are you talking about? Okay, first of all, like, it makes perfect sense considering they're both pretty fat. They got that fat from probably eating fucking Big Macs and donuts. So yeah, it makes sense in that aspect. Like, are you saying that because they're morbidly obese, they're gonna only eat salad on a live stream or whatever, or on the internet, and lie and pretend that they aren't eating junk food every once in a while? Like, that makes no sense, and that's not honest. It's just a joke, and they're being honest about it. And I don't want to hear anything about morality from you when your wife is also morbidly obese, Phil. So all these things he's saying about these two fat guys, he's also, in a way, also saying that about his wife then, isn't it? The same thing could be applied for his overweight fat wife in that case. I mean, we all know DSP is fat phobic, so I'm not too surprised. I'm like, well, oh no, his wife doesn't count though, because that's his wife. But these other fat people, oh, they can go to hell because they're immoral for being fat and liking a cheat day and having a cheat day of junk food every once in a while. Like, what are you fucking talking about?
Does that make any fucking sense? To have two guys sitting down doing that? No. They're killing themselves, right? It's awful. Why would they be doing that? And then I guess they released a bunch of other, like, production stills.
So, again, your wife is killing herself every time you order DoorDash for her then. By your own logic, you are killing your wife. Congratulations, DSP.
Of, like, EDP posing in front of a camera dramatically for what's going to be a documentary. And, you know, to be honest here, I think that's about it for me. Well, you're going to tell me that there's going to be a guy who...
I like how EDP being a PDF file is not immoral, but EDP being a fat, morbidly obese guy and eating a Big Mac and donuts, that is immoral. So just so we know where his morals stand, PDF file and being a sexual predator, no big deal. Being fat and eating junk food, big deal. Big fucking deal. So what does that say about your wife then, Phil? Because you're always going off about how you and your wife ordered DoorDash this and DoorDash that and got all this food. But apparently that's not killing your wife. But fucking Boogie and EDP eating a few hamburgers, oh, that's immoral and they're killing themselves by doing that, huh? I guess fat people just aren't allowed to eat anything at all, right? And it's super unrealistic to think that, like, even if they're on a diet, super unrealistic to think that, like, people on diets are not allowed to have a cheat day every once in a while or something like that, though. No, of course not.
Who essentially has been exposed for pedophilia on the internet, canceled because of it. What's the story to tell there? Exactly. Maybe, unless there is some secret story that no one knows about, that actually this whole thing was a screw job and none of it was true, right? At all.
But keep in mind, he's not defending EDP, though.
But unless that's the story.
But he is, but he isn't.
I don't think there's anything to tell there. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people already on the internet are very upset with Mike Klum, basically saying, why are you giving this guy a venue to be heard when basically we were done with him years ago? Like, we don't want him to have a venue. We don't want him to have a way to speak out about.
This same thing could be said to DSP, though. Like, why would you give DSP a venue to speak? Why would you give DSP a platform when we're all done with DSP and we were a long fucking time ago? Because everyone knows DSP is a fucking scammer and a piece of shit.
About anything, because
same thing could be said about him.
Essentially, from what was found out about him, right?
Same with you.
Again, I don't know, but I'm just speaking from, you know, what I've heard on the internet. So here's the thing. That's what's funny. The Boogie stuff, EDP stuff, that shit has nothing to do with me or my content or my life, right? At all. Couldn't be.
So why are you talking about it?
From my situation, at all.
Why are you talking about it then?
I have a full-time, very, you know, productive business that's successful. I have people who support me.
Yeah, it's so successful, though.
My life is going good, except for the fact that there's thousands of people on the internet who shit on me on a daily basis for personal gain. Outside of that, everything's going good, right? I don't have a horrible story to tell about my sad, miserable life, about being accused of horrible things like pedophilia. Nothing like that, okay? So I couldn't be further from guys like that. So then why would I be making a documentary with someone who makes those kind of documentaries, right?
Why,
and that's kind of
the
like, the take I have on it. Like, okay, maybe the Boogie one was the first one, but you're going in a different direction. But now the next one is with a guy like EDP. It's like, what? Like, wait, what? I don't know, man. You know. So at the very point here, I'm very happy that I have not gotten wrapped up in all of this shit. You know, in the last year, they tried to get me to go on a stupid lolcow podcast. Thank God I made the completely 100% correct decision to not be involved with that kind of crap. And I'm, you know, doing my own thing. I was interested.
No, you weren't.
Doing, you know, this documentary, if it was going to be what I was told it was going to be. But now when you're telling me the first two projects that Mike Klum is doing is literally two guys considered ginormous lolcows, not even, I wouldn't even say EDP is a lolcow. EDP is just like, you know, people think of him as a heinous person, right? So do I want to be on the string of documentaries about people like that? No. No, I don't. And I think now I really look.
You're just as bad as them, though.
Would it not have made sense for me to do the documentary because I don't know how I would have done it with my busy work schedule and lifestyle. It would have completely overworked me and kind of destroyed me, honestly, I think. Right? But in addition, now seeing the string of stuff coming out of that documentary, it's like, I think I definitely made the right decision, man. You know? I really do. I think I made the right decision. I don't know. Maybe you guys disagree. Because again, if things did go forward the way that we had discussed, which is what I've been transparent with all of you about, that it was not supposed to be that kind of documentary about a lolcow or a horrible embarrassment or a person with horrible history. It was supposed to be, hey, here's a normal guy running a business, did it his own way, and over the years reacted poorly to the criticism on the internet, and then people just learned to hate him.
Yeah, that's the only thing DSP did wrong is react poorly, right?
Okay. Go check out his content if you like it. Good for you, right? If you don't, oh well. At least you got to know his full story, so you understand the references you hear all the time. Like that was supposed to be the point, right?
Wasn't that supposed to be the point of the interview also, though?
I don't know. I'm actually, perhaps, right? did the right thing here, you know? Because it's funny, like someone like Bill Williams says, Mike Klum is appealing to a certain type of audience and demographic. I don't think that the final product would have reflected what you intended it to be. Maybe you're right. You know, the thing is, in life, you don't know. You don't know. What you don't take chances on, you don't know what's going to happen. But here's the thing. Last year, I took a chance on an interview that originally I didn't even want to do. It was just, I was supposed to be a guest on a show.
You reached out to them, Phil. You reached out to Craig and Side Scrollers because you wanted to be a part of their stupid show. And then it turned into the interview thing.
Interview essentially becomes a three-ring circus of
It's not like they reached out to you. It's not like Mike Klum reached out to you. You were reaching out to other people because you were desperate to do an interview at the time.
If that hadn't happened, likely I might have gone through with this documentary. But after last year, I think I've learned my lesson to stay away from this drama shit. That it doesn't help anyone around.
And you're so shell-shocked and have PTSD from the interview.
One day,
you're not going to join or do anything else.
That a documentary makes sense, okay? Right? For now, I don't think so. For now, I don't think it makes sense. Number one, I can't fit it in with my life as it is. And number two, I believe it would very much just bring way more drama to this community than anything else. And what's the point of that, right? Who benefits from that? Some people do. Boogie thought he did. Boogie thought he benefited from drama. I think that's the problem. Like someone like Boogie, he literally thinks that all he'll ever get attention for the rest of his life is fabricated drama on the internet. So he just keeps fabricating more so people
him, Rich, you, any other lolcow, right? Basically.
Immoral, but oh look at these two lolcow guys. Let's laugh at them and talk about them today. So he gets attention, right? Like that's not me. I'm literally the polar opposite. I want nothing to do with that. I just want people to come by and hang out with me and enjoy games and a fun discussion during a podcast.
And give me free money for doing nothing because I earned it.
And prolific creator. I want to eventually get into other topics of discussion as we've talked about this year. I don't want to be a guy
motherfucker.
The only reason you'll pay attention to me is because I did something.
Oh, I'm a prolific creator. Look at all the games and videos I played. That doesn't make you prolific, Phil. It really doesn't.
On the internet today, okay?
And you're never going to be known for that.
So,
ever.
There you have it. I'm avoiding it. I'm glad I did. Okay? So there you go. And no, so people are being so stupid because again, what is it with these people who think that life is black and white? Because like literally now people in chat, oh, so that means Mike Klum is a detractor. No, it doesn't, stupid. And just saying that is incredibly stupid that you would even say something like that. What are you talking about?
Stupid.
Life is not black and white. I keep telling you this. There's many shades of gray and many compromises and middle of the road.
Life is not black and white, says the guy who usually views life in black and white. If you're not a fan of mine, you're a detractor. If you criticize my shit, you're a detractor. If you question my decisions, you're a detractor. Life is not black and white, though, guys.
This is where reality is. It's not either someone absolutely loves you or absolutely hates you. Either they're your biggest fan or your biggest detractor.
That's what you think.
No.
That's what you think.
Mike Klum would have done a neutral take.
Oh
I do believe that. Like, he would have done a neutral take where, you know, you judge for yourself, right?
That's what you think about your other fans, though, huh?
When his history is Boogie and now EDP, these guys that are, you know, totally different from me, but almost similar situation to themselves, what does that mean for what this documentary would have been observed? Because here's the truth. In life, it's not about what's real. It's about how it's perceived. That's actually a really good point. In life, it's not about what's factually true. It's not about what actually happened. It's about the perception of reality. Because it doesn't matter what the truth of the matter is. If everyone believes something else, then that's their reality.
Change.
And that's the situation with me. Is that even though I have nothing to do with Boogie, I have nothing to do with EDP, I have nothing to do with Wings of Redemption, I'm nothing like any of them.
You are.
Will constantly group
You're still a fucking lolcow, just as bad as Boogie.
Do that by a mob of people on the internet, right? So that's the truth. Even if I did a documentary, right, that really did cover me in a very fair way and actually showed both sides of the equation and actually
would not have worked.
Covered everything going on.
It wouldn't have helped.
Right? Guess what would have happened? Pribble still would have said, wow, look, this is the documentary that exposes Phil and does horrible things. What? They still would have said that. You know, I really believe that. Like, again, I don't think I'm ever going to get a fair shake. I don't think that would ever happen.
You're not, because you don't deserve one.
No matter what, there's always an underlying agenda on the internet of, you know, cancel culture. Fuck this guy.
It's not cancel culture.
Let's just keep that.
You are a piece of shit. You treat other people like a piece of shit.
I'll go back to the reference.
Therefore, you don't deserve
right? He does a documentary
to be seen in a positive light.
It's not that bad, Phil. There's some things in there that you probably disagree with, but it's not that bad. It's mostly a neutral take, right? And I'm considering doing an interview with the guy about it after the fact. And then come to find out, the guy is going on a podcast called the Lolcow Podcast, appearing as a lolcow farmer to milk people on the internet for drama content so he can make money.
Oh my God, like, you're still going on about the Turkey Tom thing?
About me. Well, I think I've milked Phil enough. And that's disgusting, right?
He
That's
was
the mentality of a lot of these people.
He was being sarcastic because you kept talking about you being milked. It's almost as if you have a fucking fetish or something, Phil. You constantly talking about, oh, milking me and different views and all this stuff. So Turkey Tom was joking in a sarcastic way about that because you wouldn't shut the fuck up. It's almost like you have some weird fucking human milking fetish or something at this point. Like,
on the fucking
what
internet.
the fuck?
How much can I
Are you a
milk out of
furry
people for
too,
personal
Phil?
benefit? So,
Is your
no,
persona
I
cow?
don't think that I want to be milked.
Or is your
okay?
wife's
I don't.
persona
I'm done
cow,
with this
maybe?
nonsensical stuff.
What the fuck?
I'm just going to do my own content, okay? And, you know, it is what it is. There's going to be ups and downs to that. There's going to be times when I'm playing a prominent game, there's something exciting going on, and people are interested. There's going to be times, like, literally right now, where it's a million RPGs and people have burnout, and they're waiting for new content that's different, right? And that's the case, and it's never going to be.
people are playing those
you know, that
RPGs. I
situation
don't know
where
what you're
we're gonna
talking
always have
about.
prominence or attention. But as long as I have a positive viewer base who come and support me no matter what I do,
As
I'm
it-
good. And I have that.
Yeah,
I do have
exactly.
that. So I'm
that come and support me no matter what I do. As long as I have people that come and give me money no matter what I'm doing, even though I'm not earning any of that, I'll be happy. So just keep giving me
happy and
money.
grateful for that. Maybe that's why
For
I'm
nothing.
different from all the others who they have to make drama in order to get any kind of
Not
attention.
really. You tailored your own personal hug box of dents that love to give you money as pay pegs. That's basically the same as any other lolcow, really, if you think about it. All lolcows seem to do that.
Popularity. I don't have to do that. I can still be successful without that nonsense. And I'm happy for that and grateful for that. Because if that were the case, if the only way I could get noticed was drama, then I would stop making content entirely. Really. I would just quit. Okay? I would have enough. I'd be like, that's enough of that crap. So. What just popped up on my screen? Oh, okay. Never mind. Nothing bad. Okay. So. There you have it. And, there we go. Yeah, everything.
Yeah, so that was that one. And then we got the response to this one. Yeah, maybe that's why he's so on this bender about being milked and everything, is like, maybe it struck a sensitive spot with him because he's maybe a little bit too sensitive about how big his chest has gotten lately. I don't know.
Tell you something, brother.
Because those are pretty obvious and hard to ignore at this point.
And so, where do we begin? How about we begin with yesterday's podcast when...
Especially in
early
this
on the
shirt.
show,
God damn, this
I
shirt.
basically opened the show talking a little bit about an updated thoughts on the documentary that I was in the works with Mike Klum to make over the course of this year, and that
He might have a bigger chest than his fucking wife at this point. I don't know.
It was done and canceled. There was really nothing else to say. But over the last few days, people have been coming into the chat.
Oh,
here
definitely has
during my stream and
gynomastia.
talking about, oh, did you hear that Mike Klum is doing a documentary on this other guy, EDP? And what are your thoughts?
Well,
on
why
that?
does
And
he
then
have to
really
go to
got
the
into
gym for? He has no reason
I really
to go to
don't
the
need
gym.
to rehash what I said yesterday because it's all there in the show. You can watch it. I talked about it for like a good 20 minutes. In summary, I felt like I did dodge a bullet. Like, it seems like Mike, in the content that he's making right now, is catered in a direction towards this lolcow style content, or people who are, you know, really
This is the right one, yeah.
in a situation where, like, it's their last desperate attempt to get someone to care about them on the internet, and that's what his documentaries are. Correct? I mean, let's be honest. It was a Boogie like that. I mean, it was called The Sad Life, Dark Life of Boogie, and now you got EDP, who everyone on the internet has hated on for, I guess, being caught out. A catfished, i.e., to expose that apparently the guy was involved with pedophilia. Again, I don't know because I don't follow this stuff. I have no idea. I only know what I hear or what people tell me, okay? So, i.e., me being wrapped up in that kind of content is not beneficial for me, myself, or my brand, or my content, or my viewers, or anyone, right?
You don't even
To be
have a
honest, even
brand
if
anymore,
my
Phil.
documentary would not have been like that, it still wouldn't have made sense because then it's like you still get associated with it.
Why are you still
So,
talking
pretty much
about
that's
this
all
as
I
a
said
question?
yesterday, you know, about that. And apparently, I've been misrepresented in two different ways. So one group is saying, oh, did you hear how Phil is totally condemning, like, Mike Klum and EDP and all of this? Like, basically, he's, like, shitting all over them. I don't realize that happened. I don't remember that.
You
I was
did.
here in
You
this chair yesterday,
did.
and that didn't happen.
That was
on the
we
show.
just watched it, Phil.
Yet people are saying that, right? And it's like, okay, sure.
Yeah, good
sure I
one.
did,
Or
right?
lifting
On the other side of it,
a gallon of
people are
milk
saying I
every,
defended
once a week
EDP.
when he goes shopping.
Really? So by me coming on my own show and saying, it doesn't make sense for me to do a documentary with Mike Klum because he's associating himself with people like EDP, that was defending EDP.
No,
maybe.
you claim that EDP was totally framed and that it's possible he didn't do it. That's why you were defending EDP.
In some weird parallel universe where right means left, up means down.
Oh my
it's
God.
actually the opposite. I'm telling you that guy is one of, the worst liked people on the internet. Most people have written him off and said that this is like concrete evidence of the heinous things that he's done.
Sounds kind of like you.
And the only reason he's not in jail is because it was done on the internet. Like, for example, if the police had set up EDP in one of these kind of to catch a predator situations, he'd be in jail right now. But instead, it was like people on YouTube who did it. So they got some YouTube views out of it, but it wasn't like able to be evidence for court or whatever. And so he's still out, but definitely he's caught out doing this stuff, right? At least, again, this is what I'm to understand from what I've been told. I don't have any evidence sitting in front of me. I don't have
But you said he was framed in the last video. We heard it.
On the internet, right?
That is you defending him.
So anyway, with all that being said, I don't know how you can spin that into me saying I either am being completely unfair to EDP or Mike Klum, or I'm defending EDP. But it's hilarious because both situations are what people are saying I said. They're completely opposite, aren't they? Right? How could I possibly said both? It doesn't even make sense at all, right? So, it doesn't make any sense. What they try to do is they try semantics. Like, as they said, I'd said either set up or framed or whatever. What I should have said was like to catch a predator. That's what I should have said. To catch a predator is a setup. They're setting you up to think that it's a situation that it's not. You show up and you get caught out for these heinous actions you were intending to perform. Correct? So maybe if I worded it better, doesn't matter. That's, you know what I said. If you were here on, you actually watched the show in context, you know exactly what I'm saying. But that's the problem with the people on the internet who don't like me. They literally take this stuff out of context, then say I meant this when I never
watched the whole thing, Phil. We didn't just take it out of context.
So anyway, I just find it's funny that these idiots literally spin it two different ways that couldn't possibly both be true because they contradict each other. But you know my stance now, right, everybody? You understand it now? Okay, like, I'm not going to be doing a documentary regardless because I'm too busy to do it. My life is too hectic, and right now I wouldn't be able to do it properly. That's number one. Number two, I feel like a documentary is something you do when it's your last chance or your last desperate attempt. I'm not in that situation whatsoever.
No.
I have a successful business and a positive viewer base. I'm not in a situation where I have to make drama to get views and or be known.
Oh my God, are you serious? That's what you do all the time, DSP. You're constantly causing drama for views. You are willing to talk about drama so much because, God forbid, you have to play video games. So you do like as much as possible in order to not play video games. Like, so you'll talk about this and oh, the drama going on here or there, just so you don't have to play video games more. So you can draw out your level 1 podcast longer.
On the internet, that's a good thing, okay? And yes,
every time there's drama, he brings it up. Hell, like there's an upcoming video I'm gonna watch, like where he's talking about fucking LTG again.
Saying it publicly to the world, I'm not going to be involved in a line of documentaries that are involving people that literally have nothing to do with me or my life situation, because then you get an association with it, okay? Boogie was one thing, but now EDP, now it's like, yikes. So unless there's more stuff coming from Mike Klum that's nothing to do with that lolcow shit, then I don't want to do a documentary like that. You understand? Maybe there will be for different stuff in the future. I don't know.
Why are you still talking about that, though? Does anyone actually care? No.
Like that, all right? In fact,
move on.
Because I didn't know what was going to happen with other work that Mike Klum was doing and stuff like that. Now, let's say we were doing the documentary, and then it comes out he's doing an EDP documentary. Now, everyone will be like, oh, so now DSP's associated with EDP, you see? So I do feel like I dodged a bullet, just being honest, okay? So there you go. That's my final stance on it. And I have nothing else to say about it because there is nothing else to say about it. I don't know. I don't care. I'm not involved. Okay? Fair enough? So don't listen to the nonsense. I literally didn't say either thing that morons on the internet are saying I said. Just watch the show from yesterday and you'll see in context the whole discussion. Fair enough.
All right. So, like I said, none of these are really in any order.
Well, let me tell you something, brother.
Oh, God. Why is this always so long?
Snort, snort, oh, yeah. Drip, snort, snort. I got the drip. Go.
All right, you ready? We're going to do it right now. Let's get into it, guys. So, spoiler alert. If you are playing Baldur's Gate 3, planning on playing Baldur's Gate 3, and you haven't reached Act 3, and you have not reached the culmination of Asterian's plotline, you're going to want to skip this portion of the podcast because I am going to talk about that plot and its conclusion and what happened yesterday when I concluded it.
Asterian robbed him, dude.
Because I'm pretty upset with the way it went down, not because of the consequences of my choices in the game. I'm actually okay with that, all right? My problem is that I was robbed. Okay?
I was
To give you a
robbed.
brief summary.
Larian
Because of my
robbed.
choices, a character left my party and gave me all the items in their inventory except the ones they had directly equipped on their person, which were all unique items you can never get back. These are items that I spent over 120 hours during my playthrough collecting to make the perfect build, and now they're lost completely, erased from existence. Okay?
You could always quick load and get them back and just redo the fight over again. Or I don't know how often he saves his games, but like one of the main things you learn to do pretty quickly in Baldur's Gate 3 is saving often. Like quick saving here, quick saving there. You quick save a lot in Baldur's Gate 3 because you never know what's going to happen. So it's like you should, in theory, have a save file that's not that far back that you could go back to maybe even before the fight, unequip all the good shit that is on him and put like mediocre stuff on him and then go.
So I want to tell you the story of what happened. I want to tell you my opinion on it and how I think that Larian could absolutely improve this engine if they actually really wanted to make it truly like a role-playing game rather than a, oh, we just make arbitrary decisions and you live with them game, which is really what this game is, sadly. And then we're going to go from there. But I'm sure everyone's going to have difference of opinion because people in the chat have already. They were going back and forth this morning about it. So let's do it. Let's talk, shall we? Yeah, let's do it. All right, so here's the deal. Asterion is one of your party members who you find right at the beginning of the game. He is a vampire spawn, meaning that in his past, a vampire bit him and made him basically a vampire, but he doesn't have the full powers of like the vampire lord. He's just one of the underlings, okay? But because in the plot he has this illithid parasite in him, he somehow is freed from the control of his master, and he's able to walk daylight. So he's a daywalker vampire, okay? So most of the plot, he is your go-to guy when it comes to lockpicking, when it comes to being stealthy. You know, he's the rogue, he's the
Wait, not really. You can change people. Does DSP not know that you can change people's like classes in Baldur's Gate 3? Like, you just go to the zombie guy. What was the guy's name? I can't fucking remember. Blathers, something like that. You just go to that old guy, and he can change your class. He can change anyone's class. Like, Asterion doesn't have to be a rogue. And I don't think being a rogue affects the chances to lockpick good or not. Like, because when you lockpick in Baldur's Gate 3, it's all based on luck from the dice roll. It has nothing to do with your class or anything. So lockpicking doesn't really matter because it's all down to a dice roll luck. And so it doesn't really rely on class at all. And then on top of that, you can change people's class. So he just doesn't know anything about Baldur's Gate 3, apparently.
The guy in the shadows all the time, right? So, you know, you can build him various ways. You can have him backstabbing people, you know, being invisible, or you can have him from range doing crazy ranged attacks and stuff like that. I've used him in various different ways.
Like, I think I changed Asterion to, oh shit, I can't remember what the class was. A warlock, I think? Yeah, I think it was a warlock I changed him to. Because I didn't like Gale that much, so I'm like, well, I'd rather have Asterion be the wizard or warlock. So I think I changed to like a battle mage or warlock or something like that.
Over the playthrough, okay? Notably, near the end game here, his build is so good that he basically gets like tons of turns. Like he gets 3 to 4 turns in one turn, and he gets giant critical hit damage, he gets elemental damage, he gets all this extra stuff on top of everything we're doing. You know, that would be a basic rogue class. And that's because of the way I built him, but that's also because of his gear, okay? And he's been a critical part of my game. He really has. 120 hours in, he 100% has always been a part of my party. Unlike everyone else who I've swapped in and out, he has literally been a staple of my party since day one because of his uniqueness. He's the lock picker, right? He's the stealth guy.
You don't have to have him be the lock picker. I always have my main created character lockpick shit. I don't switch to Asterion just to lockpick. Like, I know in some other RPGs, like, only rogues can lockpick, but literally anyone can lockpick in Baldur's Gate 3. Anyone can. And like I said, it's not dependent on class. It's literally down to a dice roll if you unlock a something or not. So, like, you don't have to have Asterion only be your designated lockpicker. This makes no sense.
His character. He's not a good guy. over the course of the plot, you find out that he's kind of an underhanded dude. Number one, right at the beginning of the game, he tries to suck your blood when you're asleep at camp without your permission. The hell? Who said you could do that? At least ask, and he doesn't. He just tries to do it, and you catch him in the act. Then over the course of the playthrough, you realize he basically is the one with the worst morals. He's the one who originally wants to use the elliptid parasites for using all of their power. Like, he's totally for it. He says, if you're not going to use them, give me all the parasites so that way I can become, like, all-powerful.
At least someone in the party is willing to do that. Because everyone else is like, oh, don't do that. Oh, no.
And you get to know him better. You kind of sympathize for the guy, because finding out all the crap he's been through in his life, being a vampire spawn, that he's gone through horrible, horrible things.
And I guarantee you never did any of Asterian's, like, personal quests or build up a repertoire with the guy or anything like that. So, like, there's probably no camaraderie between you two.
He's treated by his master, Cazador. That's the name of the vampire who turned him and controls him. I mean, over the course of the game, you've got people who are hunting him because he's a vampire spawn. He runs into his former spawn mates, I guess you could call them, like brothers and sisters, in being turned into spawn, and see, you know, you'll learn about their horrible backstory and how they were mistreated and all of that. So you do sympathize with him somewhat. But I mean, out of all the dialogue choices and everything in the game, he's the evil dude. Like, you could tell if you did an evil run playthrough and did all the, like, harsh choices, he would be in love with you. Like, he would absolutely love all your choices, because that's what he wants. He doesn't care about people being treated well. He just kind of laughs and snickers at everything and likes when people get hurt. He literally, every time in the game when you make a good decision, it says, Asterian disapproves. But why? It's kind of weird, because obviously your first run in an RPG, a lot of people want to do kind of the goody two-shoes run, and then you'll go back and you'll do the evil run. Well, he's introduced right at the beginning of the game, along with all the other party members, and when you make the good choices, all the party members like the choices, just not him. So over the course of the game, if you make moral choices, Asterian dislikes you more and more. And there's a couple critical things you have to do during the game choices, during the plot, that make him change his character a little bit and his attitude towards you.
And notably, did you do any of those?
There's this one time where he wants to learn about these runes that were carved into his back by his master. Now think about how fucked up that is. His vampire master literally, with a knife or something.
That's so mean. Why would someone do that to one of them?
And a demon shows up and says, I'll tell you what those runes are as long as you do a favor for me. We'll come to find out the favor is an awful favor. He wants you to murder, basically, a creature that's a slave of his. It's another plot line. I don't want to really get into it and spoil it. But basically, again, the moral choices lead you to do things differently. Because you do moral choices, Asterian's angry with you. Oh, I didn't get to learn what the runes on my back are. Now, the funny part about that is, you just find out what they are later anyway, easily. It's not like, oh, it's a hard thing now and you lost out on an opportunity.
I mean, I'm pretty sure when I did it in a way to where he learned what his runes were. So, like, I did the opposite. So I did end up, I think, no, I tricked that ogre guy into killing himself to free himself from the pact or something like that. So I didn't even have to fight him. And then Asterian learned what the runes were.
You're just going to find out in the plot what they are
right
anyway.
Then.
So it doesn't even matter that he found out earlier or later. He finds out anyway. So there's no reason why he should be so upset with you. But he is anyway. Okay? So over a few
and
more
that's probably why he left you.
Dislike him more.
Because he didn't do any favors.
Game, he's in my party. He's adding all these dialogue options. And by the way, we're doing his companion quest line. Meaning we've gone out of our way, all right, to basically appease this guy. Even though he's upset with some of the choices we made during the game, we're going to the mansion of the vampire that controls him. We're getting his revenge. We're killing everyone in there that doesn't like him. And now we're going to get to this big boss fight against the vampire. Literally, the only reason you're there is for him. You're not looking for anything there. There's no items you need. There's no
capacity to betray me and leave with all my shit. Like, I'm here. I went out of my way for you. I did all this stuff for you. And you are going to then throw that in my face when I went out of my way. It's like he's trying to gaslight Asterian, a video game character, mind you, not a real person, a fucking video game character. He is trying to gaslight right now and justify that he helped and he was such a good guy to him. And he still fucked him over. He's like, how dare you try to fuck me over when I went out of my way to fucking help you?
Okay? So he should be appeased. If this were realistic and good writing, he should be like, wow. So
oh, but it's not good writing, though, dude.
Their own heart to help me. Awesome. Instead, he's a fucking pissy bitch about it. He's demanding the entire time. We absolutely need to not only defeat the vampire lord who controls...
Hold on, I'm getting error messages. Is this still working good for everyone? Saying they're not maintaining enough video? Let me just check. 1 second. I'm sorry. I don't usually like doing this, but I'm getting an error message and I'm not sure if I'm still online or not. No, not the history. Still not maintaining enough video? Let me just check. Nope, we're still good. Okay. I don't know what happened. Still getting an error message, but it seems like it's still working, so YouTube is not getting enough video to maintain. It's not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. As such, viewers will experience buffering. Well, I apologize, but I don't know how to fix that. Now it's saying it's excellent again, so I'm just going to continue. Sorry about that.
Controls me, but I want to flip this on its head, and I wanted to have this ritual make me the ultimate powerful vampire. And it's funny because
yeah, he mentioned that before they didn't want to do the ritual.
Like, how did this become part of the deal? We never even really discussed this.
Yeah, you did. I'm not even at the part where you meet Cazador yet, but I'm pretty sure. No, he did, because sorry. I'm not even at the mansion yet with Cazador, but I remember Asterion saying before, it's like, oh, but if we defeat Cazador, then I can do the ritual and actually become the all-powerful vampire guy. He's mentioned that before you get to the mansion, because I remember Asterion telling me that, and I'm not even that far yet. So he has mentioned that, Phil.
I don't even know, why did this become a big deal? It was supposed to be just about freeing him from the grips of his vampire lord, but the game turns it into a quest now to make him the ultimate vampire, which is kind of weird. Again, especially if you're going into this with a moral mindset. You don't want a vampire lord. There already is one. Things are bad. You don't want just another one. And the thing is, again, with Asterion, you've seen through the plot, he is corrupted by power. He's the person that wants to use the illicit parasites for his own gain, while everyone else is apprehensive about it. No, we don't want to use the power because it's too dangerous or too evil. He's okay with it, right? So it doesn't make sense if you're going for the moral role-playing story, which I am.
I mean, not really. It's all kind of convoluted because it's like there are a lot worse things in Baldur's Gate than a vampire overlord. I mean, you got that fucking demon bitch, whatever the fuck her name is, that's always trying to be in your party, that is obsessed with Will, whatever, I forget what the hell her name is. Like, she's way worse than a demon lord. And, like, I think Asterion is more like where it's like, not necessarily evil, but he's like, well, since we already have these illicit powers, we might as well fucking use them, right? It's like, and it's helping him, obviously, because he can walk in the daytime, so he probably does think it's a good idea. Just because you think it's a good idea to use whatever powers you have to gain the upper hand, that doesn't automatically make you an evil person or power-hungry person, does it?
What he wants, no. Okay? So basically, you go to the whole mansion, you get
it's to just DSP's thinking and logic is flawed.
Against Cazador. And it's a unique boss fight, like most of these endgame boss fights. It's not bad at all. I actually was enjoying it. And we get to the very end, and we beat Cazador, and now Asterion has the critical decision. He wants to become the vampire lord. So what does that entail? Well, this ritual has to complete. It means that everyone in this ritual circle is about to die. It means that all of these vampires spawn that supposedly they're saying there's thousands of them that are trapped in the castle are all going to be sacrificed so that he can become the ultimate vampire. Now he's going to control the legions of vampires in Baldur's Gate. And again, as we've already seen in the plot, Asterion sadly can't be trusted with power. He's the one who wants to misuse the illicit power early on. So the track record says, no, this is bad. Even when
no, that doesn't prove that he's a bad guy or he can't be trusted with power. Like, I'm pretty sure I made my main character take full advantage of the illicit powers. It doesn't mean that I was role-playing as my character being a power-hungry person. That just means, hey, I'm going to use everything to my advantage to stop the bad guys.
If you want to go with this or not, Shadowheart speaks up and says, no, you don't want to do that because you're going to sacrifice all these people just for him to get more power. This doesn't make sense. It's kind of like you're getting...
So what would you rather do? Release thousands of vampires spawn on the people of Baldur's Gate? Like, I'm pretty sure, like the entire population would be wiped out by all these vampires if you just unleashed thousands of vampires that are in the castle, Phil. Like, releasing and setting free all these vampires is probably not a good idea either. Arguably, you know what I'm saying? It's like, you're probably dooming the entire city if you release all the fucking vampires and let them go free. You can't free everyone. You can't cure them of vampirism, I don't think.
Getting rid of one dictator to replace it with another dictator, but because you're friends with that dictator, it's okay. No, the dictator alone is bad. It doesn't matter who it is. There shouldn't be one, right?
There's always going to be someone who rises to power and takes advantage of the open vacancy in this situation anyway, though. So even if Asterion doesn't take control, someone else is going to anyway, Phil. Like, it's not gonna, like, oh, just kill the dictator and everything will fall apart and no one will come and rise up and take advantage of that. That's not how that's gonna work. But this is Mr. Politics over here. He wants to make a political channel.
Me against it, don't do it. I said, that's it. I'm going to make my choice. No, I'm not going to allow him to do the ritual. Okay? So, by the way, it's revealed that the writing on his back from Cazador is the ritual marks. It's just he was going to be one of the sacrifices for the ritual. And during the ritual, you rescue him. So, again, all the things you're doing for this character, right? You went to Baldur's Gate, you went to the mansion, you kicked the vampire's ass, and you saved him from being ritually sacrificed.
All these things I did for you, Asterion, and you're fucking biting the hand that feeds you and betraying me after I did all this shit for you. He's literally trying to gaslight a video game character right now.
That's not good enough. He still doesn't like you because you don't want to do exactly what he
wants.
He
still doesn't
like
you.
Talk about a fucking spoiled brat? That's Asterion. He's fucking
projection much, Phil?
Exactly his way. He hates you. How the fuck does that make any sense?
Oh my god, this is such projection from him.
You saved his ass early on from vampire hunters. You saved him when his...
You have to forge a relationship with them, just like in real life. Gee, I think Doe might be right about that, but DSP didn't do that. He's just breezing through the entire game as fast as possible, not talking to any of these characters, not building any sorts of relationships whatsoever.
Brothers and sisters came to camp and tried to kill everyone in the night. You went there, you stormed the castle, you beat the vampire lord, you free him from his control. Oh, I'm still pissy with you. Well, fuck you then. Like, really, what a badly written, not badly written, but I understand. They're trying to say, again, this guy is a corruptible character who basically, he's kind of incorrigible. No matter how much you like him, he's always going to be that kind of guy, and you got to deal with that, right? So, I made the choice, and I said, no, we are absolutely not going to let you become the vampire lord. And then he says, okay, and he turns and he brutally murders Cazador, all right? And then he says, just listen to this. Well, since you made your choice, you wouldn't do what I wanted, I'm going to storm away like a spoiled brat. I didn't get my way, so I'm going to throw a tantrum. Number one, I'm going to leave your party permanently and you never find me again, okay? Number two, and listen to this, I've decided that because I can't get my way, all those prisoners out there, all those imprisoned turns just like me, they're all vampire spawn, they'll never be freed. And he takes the staff, that's the doors to the cells for the prison, and he snaps it on his knee. So now all those people are stuck permanently and can never be freed because he's a spoiled fucking brat. He didn't get his way, so now it's tantrum time. And it's like, wait, what? You didn't gain anything by doing that. You're just an asshole, right? So then he storms away. And I'm like, listen, all right, let me get this.
Let me get this. Let me understand this. I don't understand.
Okay?
Okay.
It's sad because he's been my go-to rogue. He's been my lockpicker. He's been my stealth guy. He's been a part of the plot.
So DSP just cannot handle actually having consequences for his own decisions and his own choices. That's basically what this boils down to. DSP is pissed off that a game is actually giving him consequences to his own decisions. Which, if you think about it, this is very good writing on the game's part. This is like very, like, DSP's engaged in what's happening with his story. He's attached to these characters for the right reasons or not. So, like, this is just speaking praise for the game itself. But he's all pissed off because he's suffering consequences for his own actions. Something that doesn't happen to him in real life like it should, by the way. Excuse me. Because how often has DSP gotten away with shit scot-free without suffering any fucking consequences in the real life? And finally, in a fucking video game of all places, a game's like, no, you're gonna suffer consequences for doing this, for making a poor decision or whatever. You're gonna suffer the consequences now. And now he's acting like a fucking baby and crying and whining because he has to suffer consequences for something he did. It's very ironic.
Yeah, it hurts to lose someone who's a key party member. Like I said, I literally never took Asterion out of my party. He was there from the get-go, and he's the only character that I always had in my party, right? So
I always had Karlach in my party. She was my main one that's always been in my party most of the time.
I'm going to live with the consequences of my decisions. I chose the moral path.
Live with the consequences.
If he doesn't like me and he doesn't want to be with me anymore, that's fine. Leave, okay? So I received a sack of items in my inventory. It's over 100 items. I said, oh, this is his inventory. This is what he had sitting in his inventory, and they give it to you so that way you don't lose all the inventory items when he leaves the party. Fine. So we go back to camp. So what are we going to do? Well, for now, Asterian's gone. Let's just get someone else quick in the party. Let's do another mission. So I did. I put another character in the party. We went and got another mission. We actually recruited another character, which is wild. I recruited a new character 120 hours into the game. I'm thinking that's probably the last one.
Who do you recruit? Minsk, probably? The bald guy, Minsk, from Baldur's Gate 2 and 1 and 2, I think? Who's friends with Jaheira? I think that's probably who we recruited, is my guess. Because I think Minsk is probably the last person you recruit in the game, I think.
So someone says, in this game, the cool thing about it is, once you hit level 12, which is the max level, which I hit a while ago, you can respec characters to however you want. And so you could essentially...
You could have done that so far before! Do you not have Withers in your party, Phil? You probably killed Withers, didn't you? That, old zombie guy, you probably killed him, so you didn't have the option to, resurrect characters or reclass and respec your characters? You probably didn't even fucking have that, huh?
Out of this new character,
oh my God.
We recruited. And I was like, oh, okay, that's neat. Let's do it then. So we did. We literally went in and built Minsk into the same Gloomstalker build that Asterian had. And I was like, well, this is excellent. Let's just have him be the new Minsk. And we'll have a new character to boot, and we'll get to learn new lore and everything.
Minsk is supposed to be like a berserker warrior.
Half the stuff that Asterian was doing was because of his gear. He had a piece of gear that gave him a first attack every fight. That was a critical hit, giant damage first attack, which is awesome. He had a piece of gear that was the best hand crossbow in the game, doing both force damage and regular damage, and it has special properties. He had a new sword I had just gotten out of the plot. It's a one-handed sword that acts like you're dual wielding. So you can attack with this sword, but get a second free attack, and it does full damage as if you're holding only one sword. It's super duper good. So he's got all of these things. He had the ability to cast a magic missile spell for free, and that's huge because there's situations where you need a guaranteed hit, and he can get it. So I got all this good equipment on him. It's really good equipment. And again, this is rare equipment that once you have it, but you can never,
yeah,
ever
it's a unique item in the game. There's only one of them.
It's a one-time deal. It's completely unique equipment, okay? So I'm building Minsk up, and I opened the pack that Asterian had given me of all his items, and I'm trying to transfer the armor over, and I'm like, wait a minute. Now, I know for a fact he had a piece of equipment that gives him the critical hit. I can't find it. Wait a minute. Where are the hand crossbows that I've had him use the whole game? I'm looking. None of it's there. Huh? So the game programmers at Larian had the foresight to say, well, if we have a character leave, they got to give you the items from their inventory because they might have a quest item in there, right? And if there's a quest item in their inventory and they leave, you can't complete the quest. You could soft lock the game. And they didn't want that to happen. But they didn't think enough forward to say, oh, yeah, by the way, if a person leaves your party, they have equipment on them, and they should also give you their equipment.
So
right?
Asterian should strip all of his clothes off
party means that he leaves
and then walk away naked?
Critical items that I built over the course of the game specifically for his build, and now because those items are gone, I can never use that build ever again. And it's true. With this particular build that I made, I can never have that kind of combination of attacks or gameplay ever again. It's lost. All right? Now, here's the thing. Because some people have been defending this. All right? And here's the thing again. I'm all for...
Look how fast his leg is jiggling. He is vibrating. He's jiggling so fast. Jesus Christ.
Consequences. There's too many games today where it's the illusion of choice. You make a choice and didn't really affect anything. This was going to happen no matter what. And it's bullshit. And I don't like games like that. I like games where your choices directly impact the results and the plot and all of it.
He is fucking shaking.
I'm okay with actually having a character who's written to basically kind of be like a spoiled brat, like Asterian is, and that's okay.
Like you.
The character's fine. But if I make a moral choice and he's going to leave, all right, I'm okay with that. What I'm not okay with is the game now having a new game mechanic, never explained ever throughout the entirety of the game.
It's not a game mechanic. What are you talking about?
To say, we don't want to soft lock you, so we're going to give you all of his inventory, but then he's going to run away with all the items that he has equipped. It doesn't make sense, okay? It just doesn't. You might say, what's he going to do? Strip naked when he leaves your party?
That's what you want.
Here's what should happen. If he says, well, I'm leaving, immediately you should say,
if you mess around, you find out,
we just went through a 120-hour journey together, and if you're leaving, that's on you. And I give you the option to leave if you want to leave the party. But if you're leaving, you give me all your shit right now.
What, do you want an exit interview for the characters? You know how when someone gets fired from a job and they have an exit interview? Is that what you want from Asterian? It's okay, sit down, strip, get all your clothes off. That's what he wants.
And then there should actually be dialogue between you and the character, hashing it out.
He wants an exit interview.
And then the option should be either you just let him go scot-free, or you have to convince him to give you your items back, or you fight him. And if you win, you keep the items, right? That's what should have happened. Not, oh, he decides to leave. He disappears from the fucking game. Literally,
let's do rock, paper, scissors, and if I win,
and now you have no
I get to get all the items
back. That's bad game design. And you might say, well, your actions should have consequences. Yes, if you're going to lose the character, that's the consequence. And give me the extra step of role-playing to have that dialogue so we can now determine what happens because you're choosing to break our camaraderie, our fellowship.
Our agreement.
You're the one doing it.
We had a contract, Asterion, and you fucking broke it. You're breaking the consequences. Wait, you're breaking the contract. So deal with the consequences, strip naked, and give me my shit back.
Not me. I'm not sending you off. You decided to leave. So now we have to hash this out, right?
No,
seriously,
he stormed off. That's what happens. They storm off. He's not going to strip naked. Sorry about that. He's not going to strip naked and get rid of everything he has on him and just leave vulnerable and naked like that, Phil. That's not how that works.
Shit. You don't just get to steal everything, right? If you are in a relationship,
that was his,
does one person
his
in the
items
night steal everything in the fucking house and run out the door? No, you have to hash out who keeps what, right? It's bullshit. It shouldn't be like this at all. It's absolutely terrible writing. And Zero says it was his stuff. Wrong. It was the party stuff.
It was his stuff.
Everything earned that he had equipped on him is the party's property because they earned it together through their fellowship and camaraderie, not him doing it alone. If there was shit
camaraderie,
on him, completely by himself.
But you gave him those items, Phil. You equipped the items to him, i.e., that is his items because he has those items equipped because you gave it to him.
You have the right to leave it. None of that shit was his. It was everyone's to divvy out as appropriate during their working together. Once you're leaving, now you got to determine what you get to leave with. It's that simple. There should have been that extra level of RPG, gameplay, and they didn't. Instead, they copped it out. He literally disappears from the game. Huh? How is that roleplay?
He wants this entire game to be like extreme real life.
That's terrible gameplay. It is
100%
role-playing. It's bad programming. It's bad gameplay. I'm sorry, you're never going to convince me different. They could have done that a million ways better to make it feel more like a real RPG, where you're playing the role of your character. I made the moral choice. Now we got to hash it out if you're going to leave. You don't...
Wait, yeah, hold on, go back. This guy makes a point. That's Sylvader. So if I raid with my guild in World of Warcraft, and then I decide to leave my guild afterwards, I should have to give back the items that I won in those raids? That's a fucking great point for a dent. It's like, exactly. It's like, no, like, even like any multiplayer game like that, it's like you work together with a group. You work together with a group, you win an exclusive rare item, that item belongs to you. It doesn't belong to the whole fucking party.
RPG
or the whole group.
The role of your character. I made the moral choice. Now we gotta hash it out. If you're gonna leave, you don't just disappear from fucking existence and get away scot-free with all my shit. So,
sorry.
Anyway, all that being said, I'm pretty upset. I do feel like this is a huge design flaw by Larian. I think Larian could have done way, way better with this. And now, continuing on with the playthrough, now I have to decide what I'm going to do next, because I basically can't have that build in my party ever again. I respect Minsk to kind of be it, but no matter what equipment I put on him, he's never going to be as good as Asterion was. Asterion got off scot-free with the best equipment. Now, some people are like, well, why don't you reload? Because I don't want to. The whole point is that I'm living with my decisions. He should leave. That's fine. If he leaves and he's out of the plot or whatever.
Well, if you don't want to reload, then stop fucking bitching. You have the choice to reload and unequip those things. If you don't want to do that and you're being so true to the role-playing element, then face the consequences of your decisions and shut the fuck up about it. It's one or the other. Either reload and get your items back, or deal with the consequences of your decisions. It's that easy.
I think he's a baby, too. And here's the other thing, too, because people are like, well, you should live with the consequences of your decisions. Well, actually, it's not fair because you're not allowed to. Because my decision was, I don't want him to become the vampire lord, so I don't sacrifice thousands of vampire spawn. Then he breaks the staff on his knee anyway, so now the vampire spawn are already screwed. You've basically negated my decision. Basically, the decision was either go with Asterion and do what he wants, or else get a bad ending. Well, that's not a decision at all. That's a trick. It really is. It's a trick. That's bad writing. And there's no way to know you're going to get the...
But there's more than just 2 options available. You were just shoehorned in to only have 2 options because you didn't have a good enough repertoire with Asterion to have the 3rd option be available
bad
there.
End by making the moral choice, especially, you know, you've been going the whole playthrough like this. That's bullshit. And so I think what it is, a lot of people would have said, hey, we're just going to, you know, we're going to reload. I'm not going to reload. You know, it sucks that that's where they went with that writing. Now, the funny part about it is some people have been telling me, well, you understand that if you had high affinity with Asterion, it wouldn't have gone down like that. If you had high affinity, then you can convince him otherwise, right? Well, guess what? I can't have high affinity because I'm doing a moral choices roleplay. The whole playthrough, I've been trying to make the best moral choices, right? There's been a few here or there that are very tenuous, I would say.
Why does he care so much about moral choices in a game that he's never going to come back to, though? Because, like, moral choices, that's fine for something when... that's fine for a game if you, like, planning on doing a multiple run thing. Like he said before, some people do, like, the good choices in the first game and then do, like, the Dark Urge quest or whatever in the second game or whatever. But he's not doing a second fucking playthrough this game. No way.
I'm going with the moral choices, so I'm going to live with that. So apparently, you just can never have a good outcome with Asterion if you're a moral person in this game. That's essentially what they're saying.
Not true.
You would have had to made bad choices that he likes. You would have had to, for example, earlier in the playthrough, you would have had to murder someone for a demon for him to be pleased with you, to learn what the runes were cut into his back, even though during the Cazador plotline, you find out anyway. So it didn't even matter that he didn't find out early. All that's a moot point, but he hates you for it anyway. Bullshit. It's bad writing. And I don't like that at all. Really. They could have done a much, much better job with it, and I'm not going to change my opinion on that. I don't like this part of the game. The whole Cazador plotline is broken because of it, and the game mechanic of someone leaving your party and stealing items because they literally blip out of fucking existence when they leave your party is a terrible, terrible way to code the game. They could have done a scene where you hash it out and you have these choices. In fact, wouldn't that have been better? Okay, you're deciding that we have a difference of opinion. You need to leave the party. All right, so now you're going to have a dialogue, either a persuasion check, an intimidation check, a deception check, something like that to get your inventory back. Or you mutually agree because you still like the character enough that they could just leave it to inventory, or you fight them. And maybe that could be awesome because maybe now they get to use all the shit they learned. Imagine if immediately you have to fight Asterion. It was, okay, turn 1, invisible. Oh, fuck, where is he? And he backstabs one of your characters, and he's so powerful because he's your party member, he insta-kills one of your characters. Right? Like, oh, shit. Like, that would be dope. I think that'd be amazing if you have to actually fight it out with them at the end for them to get their way.
that would be kind of cool a little bit, where it's like, oh, like, you piss off Asterion leaves, and then, like, you get to the final boss of the game, and it turns out Asterion joined the bad guys just to spite you or something. And he's like, well, how the tables have turned, hero. That'd be fucking cool.
I guess that was too tough, or they just didn't have the design choices. They didn't think of it. I think that would have been amazing. Then you want to talk about a game that resonates as like a truly unique experience. That would have been something I've never experienced in a game before, and I would have been like, wow, that would have been ultra awesome to have in a game. But instead, they literally took the easy way out, and they blipped the character out of the game. Bloop, done. Code, line of code, remove. Bloop, done. What the fuck is that? Anyway, so I'm upset, obviously. I just spent over 20 minutes on this podcast talking about the situation and how upset I am, right? There you go. Shadow Dancer says, roll a 1, no bonuses. I like the fight idea, but bump his stats, make it a boss fight. Yes, I would love that.
Asterion is a detractor, 100% confirmed.
To get rid of this character from the story, if you kill them, well, that's why they're gone. But if they win, you know, it makes sense. It totally makes sense. I think people would have loved that. No, I would have absolutely loved that. It would have blew me away if that's what happens. I would have never expected that. And I would have been pleasantly surprised. But instead, it's seriously the easy way out. Disappear. So lame.
If you cared that much about the items, just save scum and go back.
I have the right to criticize it. I played it over 120 hours. I can tell you where there's room for improvement instead of just sucking the balls of Larian Studios devs, okay? I don't suck balls. I tell you how it is. This is an awful part of the game that should be improved in future installments. When
this guy here, Meatball Man, I did a moral run and was able to keep Asterion without him becoming the vampire.
Get better, not fuck you over. And the other part about it is, people are saying things like, well, if you had known that you were going to lose the inventory, right? Then basically what would have happened is you would have always done the decision to appease the person so they stay with you. You're right. And I think now, what you're seeing now, okay, is essentially the problem with this game. Now that you know that if a character leaves you, you lose their inventory, what's going to happen is for a lot of people, they're just going to make the whole game about appeasing the party members. because they want to keep them in the party, so you have that option of bringing that person in for whatever reason, for the plot, for a fight, for lockpick, whatever. You always want everyone happy with you, right? So instead of it being an RPG where you can simulate who you really want to be and make the choices you want, instead it becomes I am a pleaser, a yes man, a person who just appeases my party members so they'll never leave and I won't lose all of this work that I put into the game. That's terrible. That is absolutely awful. That's bad writing. That's bad gameplay.
Or
that's
you could
bad
just
everything.
save more
No one should
often
have to play
and
the game walking on fucking eggshells,
reload.
wondering if they're gonna piss one of their party members off and they leave and then you're fucked because the game mechanic is they disappear from the universe, right? So that's terrible. And
what does he want to happen?
Absolutely, positively, it should be improved. It's not. All right, I think that's something that, again,
He just doesn't want to face,
or whether that's something that in
like,
the future
so he said before, oh, well, I don't want to save scum because I want to live with the consequences, and then he bitches about having to live with the consequences. I'm like, dude, like, one or the other, pick one and shut the fuck up about it. You chose to live with the consequences, so live with the consequences and shut the fuck up about it. Stop bitching for like 30 minutes of just straight full fucking bitching because you
dramatically
decided to live with the consequences.
That's one of my major gripes with the game right now. I have a few gripes with it. As you know, I played 120 hours and I had some criticisms of it. This is probably my strongest one right now. That you could screw me out of unique gear I worked my ass off to get and to create this build over the course of the playthrough, and now you screw me, right? That is so unacceptable in my opinion. So anyway, that's my take, and you can disagree, and I'm sure there's tons of people out there who disagree. If you disagree, I want
Ice is right too. You didn't buy the game; it was donated to you. So yeah, you didn't fucking buy the game. Asterion left me just like Leanna and Rambo, for real, for real.
Your take, and I want to hear why you disagree in a valid way, not just, oh, you're wrong and Larian's right, right? That's ball sucking, okay? No ball sucking, right? I don't want to hear ball sucking around here, ass kissing, you know, knob stroking, none of that. I actually want to hear legit arguments for why you think
they have been giving you legit arguments.
Better than my
you just won't accept them
way to handle it, okay? So, and by the way, here's another thing people say. Well, other RPGs do it. What RPG? Name one RPG where a character leaves your party and there's no option to ever get them back and get your gear back. Because I'm not aware of it. And by the way, I've played a ridiculous amount of RPGs in my time. I'm literally playing an RPG right now called Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. There's two parties. When you switch from the plot...
Yeah, someone else says Fire Emblem. Fire Emblem does that. If you play Fire Emblem on the intended difficulty, if that character dies, all their shit goes with them, Phil. You do know that, right? Like, those old, like, in, I forget what it was called, but like in most Fire Emblem games, it's like if your character dies, they're gone for good for the rest of the game. They're gone, and all their items that they had equipped are gone.
From one party to the other, you still have access to the inventory of the other party that you can't play with. Okay? I've played many Final Fantasy games where a character will leave with inventory, but later on it comes back. Or they put the inventory into your party inventory. They don't just remove it magically. It doesn't disappear. The character doesn't blip out of existence. They've already solved this problem many, many times before in other RPGs. This RPG chooses to ignore all of those solutions and say, we're doing it our own way, a very annoying, badly designed, archaic way that punishes the player and makes it that now you're afraid of always pissing off a party member because they might steal all your shit. That's stupid.
And then some people are saying New Vegas, Skyrim.
And it's funny because now some people are saying, well, what about Final Fantasy Tactics? Oh, Final Fantasy Tactics, a PlayStation 1 game. Excuse me.
Oh, so it doesn't count because it's a PlayStation 1 game. Okay, asshole. Now you're having all these qualifiers that you didn't have before.
That's your best counter to what I'm saying in 2024, over 25 years later.
My God, this motherfucker wants everything boring, vanilla, like no challenge whatsoever, no unique innovation, nothing like that. He really is like, you know how Craig, well, no, that video is still, I'm still editing that video, but you know how Craig is saying like there's a huge issue in the gaming community nowadays and everything like that? It's toxic pieces of shit like Phil. He is the people that Craig is talking about. Okay? It's like, and Craig and DSP are not that far apart, honestly. But that's for the upcoming video that I'm still editing right now. But, like, people like fucking Craig and DSP, like, these are the people that is wrong with the gaming industry. And too many game devs are actually gearing games towards dumbasses like fucking DSP, and that's why games are fucking being dumbed down to such a bad extent for idiots like fucking him to appease the lowest common denominator.
Nothing's gotten better. Right? How about this? If you want to play Final Fantasy Tactics, go play Final Fantasy Tactics. This is an RPG in the modern day that's supposed to have modernized mechanics that are appeasing and appealing to the player. All right? I'm playing this game because I want to simulate a certain style of moral compass in my main character, and I should be able to live with the choices without getting dirty surprises.
Yeah, if you don't want CRPG mechanics, don't play games like this.
That Asterion had the foresight to say, well, we don't want to soft lock you, so we're going to give you a bag full of all the items that Asterion
You mean Lyrian?
But not anything he actually has equipped on his person. That's bullshit. Either it's all or nothing. Not being selective about the shit. That's really stupid, you know? So, sorry. Don't like it, not going to like it. You're not going to change my mind, whether trying to yell at me and saying that I'm wrong or, you know, oh, other RPGs do it this way. It's bad. It's just bad game design, in my opinion. You have the right to disagree, but you're not going to convince me otherwise. Right now, I'm very upset.
Just fucking save scum and go back to an older load then.
Right? So,
Jesus
I'm not going to reload
Christ.
the game. I'm not going to redo my choice just for the sake of appeasing this spoiled brat character. I'm going to continue on with the playthrough. It just sucks. I'm not
You don't have... Okay, Phil, you don't have... all you have to do is reload the game a little bit to where, before you make a choice, take off all those rare items that Asterion has. Give him, like, the shittiest items you have, right? So you reload the game, you take off all his good equipment, you give him shit equipment, and then you can make the same choice, and he'll leave with his shit equipment, and you get to keep the rare equipment. And you could still maintain the same choice you already had, and you wouldn't have to be bitching for half a fucking hour like a spoiled little bitch. It's that easy.
Have anyone who basically has that build anymore, and there's really nothing that I can do about it, right? I just have to kind of live with it, and deal with it, and that's okay.
And none of us care.
It will leave kind of a gap in my playthrough where
No one
the rogue
cares.
character was great. I loved having them the entire game, and now I can't lockpick. I could respec someone to lockpick, like Vince. Maybe we do that.
But oh my fucking god, you are a dumbass. How are you this stupid when you were playing the game for over 120 hours? He has been playing... Oh my god, my head. You have been playing Baldur's Gate 3 for over 120 hours, and you never figured out that any character can lockpick something. Any character can... How do they say it? Any character can lockpick. Any character can disarm a trap, Phil. Any character can disarm a trap. Any character can lockpick. You don't have to be a fucking rogue in order to lockpick, you dumb ass. Any character can. And it's not based on class. It's based on the luck of a dice roll, Phil. How do you not know this? How have you not experimented in the beginning of the game to realize that? I get that in some RPGs, only rogues can lockpick. But this isn't one of those, Phil. Anyone can lockpick. Anyone has the option to. How are you that stupid?
But Minsk will now not hold a candle to what Asterion was able to do in combat. He doesn't have any of the gear. Like I said, I think what we might do today is, first thing we do is go on a shopping trip, because some people have recommended going to this particular vendor or two and buying a couple, like a new bow or something like that. I have no rings for Minsk at all that are any good for a rogue. They were on Asterion. He left with them. I think my boots, everything's bad. Like, all the shit I have is pretty bad. So I think I will probably first thing today go on that shopping trip and try to outfit Minsk, and then we're going to decide what we do next. Now, what I might do is I might just go rescue Lae'zel, and if we rescue Lae'zel, maybe she'll become my fourth party member. Then for combat, my party's going to be ridiculous, because Lae'zel was also, like, crazy good in combat, and she hasn't been in my game now for many hours, so maybe rescuing her is the way to go, and then I have the most crazy party ever for fighting. And then I guess we just forego the entire rogue idea. We just don't have one in our party anymore, right? I guess we'll see. But that's my take on this. I don't like this at all, this game mechanic. I think my proposition of how it should go is much better. And I'd like to hear your opinions on this, okay? All right, I'm officially done.
I think you're a spoiled little bitch. That's my opinion.
Baldur's Gate 3.
Jesus Christ.
Now,
finally, that's done. Holy crap, Phil, you're a fucking idiot.
Well, let me tell you something, brother. Snort, 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 code, drip, snort, snort. I got the drip, go.
Easy Steve, how are you today? Welcome. Highest Darkness, I do not take offense. It's just that I have heard that exact same line of argument since COVID began, and it is bullshit. It's what people like to push as a narrative for political reason. It has absolutely nothing to do with reality. So I appreciate the comment. I just want to let you know, if you actually believe that, you've had the wool pulled over your eyes. It's a bunch of bullshit. But if you don't know what we're talking about, Highest Darkness left a comment last night on a video, and he's like, you know, right now, there's inflation, and a lot of people aren't making a lot of money, or the money they made isn't going as far as it used to go, and therefore a lot of people are hurting, and that might be why right now you said your channel's down for like 2 months. And I'm like, so if that's the case, as you know, we totally have heard that every single content creator is hurting right now because they're all willing, you know, people who take contributions, and all contributions.
What? Okay, hold on a second. My brain hurts. So, I know Phil is, like, right-leaning a lot, but, like, even right-wing people are saying, like, prices are up, cost of living is up, groceries are costing too much, because they love to blame everything on Biden, even though they never blamed anything on Trump when he was elected. And I'm not trying to be political, I'm not, but I'm just saying, like, it's true though, Phil. Inflation is up. The cost of living is up. The cost of groceries is up. The cost of rent is up. Everything costs more than it did like 3 or 4 years ago. What do you are you like blind? I know he doesn't go out that much. Like, I don't know like who does the grocery shopping in that house, but how have you not noticed the cost of everything fucking going up? This man is a fucking idiot. I'm sorry.
Down, right? Oh, by the way, that also means people don't have money to pay for consoles or video games or their Apple Watches or their fucking Teslas and all this shit.
No, but they would rather buy shit that makes them happy than give money to a loser piece of shit that doesn't earn anything, doesn't deserve anything, and constantly berates his own fans and is not entertaining. Maybe they would rather buy a small, quick thing for themselves to make themselves feel better than give money to you. You ever think about that?
Constantly dropping and spending money on. They don't have money for that anymore, right? No, it's bullshit. It's a bullshit argument. It's a straw man argument, okay?
No, it's not.
Since COVID, we've heard this argument that, oh, everything's messed up, everything's down, no one has money for anything. It's nonsense, okay? People have money.
Can you imagine this idiot doing actual politics, though? I'm sorry, can you really? He doesn't even believe in inflation. And inflation is 100% happening, whether he thinks it is or not. It's 100% happening and has been for quite a while. Yes, since fucking COVID happened. Prices have gone up and stayed up. And they claimed it was, supply issues during COVID and everything like that. And then the prices just never went back down again. They just stayed up after that. It's fucking bullshit. Because everything costs so much fucking money, but because because people are still buying shit, that must mean that there is no inflation and that it's all false. Because people are still buying things that make them happy, even though we're in a depression. That's like saying there's no depression because people are still buying food for themselves. That's the same fucking logic this idiot's using right now.
The question is, do you find enough value to spend it on something, or say, oh, now I'm going to abstain from that because I'm cutting the fat because things are a little bit tighter. But in reality,
yes. So if someone's cutting the fat, they're not going to give you fucking money because they don't get anything fucking out of it.
reality, you're going to spend money on things you find value in. If you find value in a content creator who's putting out.
Well, if that's the case, then clearly they're not finding value in you because you're not that entertaining, Phil. Maybe other content creators are more entertaining and more fun to watch and interact with, so they're willing to pay other content creators more money than they're paying you.
Hundreds of hours of free content for you, then you're probably going to support that content creator, right?
No.
But the argument I'm making is the reason I'm down is two reasons: fake memberships and RPG overload. It has nothing to do with the fact that there's inflation right now. There's been inflation for 3 years, and this didn't happen until 2 months ago. So it's a.
Oh wait, so now he's saying inflation does exist, because before he was saying inflation was bullshit and prices aren't down or aren't up, and now he's saying inflation does exist. So which one is it, Phil?
Not a valid argument. Again, it's a straw man argument. Everyone seems to use it to try to justify shit. I've literally had people over the last 4 years, every year, use this argument on me. I'm like, it's not valid. Stop trying to use that argument. It's not real.
So either he's saying inflation doesn't exist, or it's not real, or it's just not real in his case. I don't know. I just know he's an idiot.
Well, let me tell you something, brother.
Snort, snort, snort,
Go, you drip.
snort, snort.
I got the drip. Go.
The other news story I have for you today is kind of a funny one. So as you know,
Super funny, yo.
I'm pretty much fighting gamed out. I'm not going to be playing fighting games anytime soon.
Yeah, because you quit like a
But
bitch.
at the higher ranks of Tekken 8, which likely is probably about where I was and a little higher than where I was in the ranked matches, apparently there has been a big problem with people who are playing the game nonstop, but then they cheat. So how can you cheat in Tekken 8? Well, it's very simple. You play, and if you win your match, you stay, and you get all your ranking points, and you rank up. If you're about to lose, you pull the plug. You pull the internet out of your console. And if you do, it drops the match. The way that Tekken 8 works is if a match drops, no one gets any points. But you also don't lose any.
Who actually, like, pulls the physical plug to disconnect from the internet, though, really? Like, you got a little, like, if you're on a PC anyway, you got a little icon that you could just disconnect from the internet. Like, no one's, like, reaching out behind on their console and, like, pulling the plug, literally. They probably just quit the actual game and, like, go to dashboard or whatever.
Points. It just cancels the match as if the match never happened. So imagine if you were playing a game and you only could gain points and never lose, you would always level up. And that's what's happened. There's actually people in Tekken 8 who had been playing for about a month, month and a half, and literally never lost any ranking points because they just cheated every match and pulled the plug. So because of that, you had people who were actually way higher ranks than they should have been. And people were infamously angry about this. In fact, there's one player who's like was ranked like, I think, top 5 in Tekken 8 since its inception, since it came out in January. And we're like, this guy's not even good. He literally is just a cheater. He'll beat scrubs, and then whenever he's about to lose, he pulls the plug, so he just stays at the top and never loses his leaderboard spot. This is bullshit, and something needs to be done. So people have been complaining nonstop to Harada, the main lead designer, since the game came out. You got to fix this. So finally, a few days ago, there was a big public post by Tekken and Harada himself saying, we have now implemented a system where we can detect someone who's an infamous plugger. That's what they're actually calling them, pluggers.
Are you a plugger?
During the match, okay?
Pluggers.
So if you're an infamous plugger, and we've seen that you've disconnected a certain amount of times, there's no way that's just like a coincidence. You're doing it on purpose.
Are you
and we're going to purposefully ban your account from being able to play online moving forward. So that's pretty crazy. That basically the first time ever this is being implemented. No one's ever done this before. To be clear, no one's ever done this. In some games, what used to happen is if you actually
sounds kind of familiar.
It would actually hurt both players, right? So if it hurts both players, it sucks because if you're not the person who pulled the plug, you get penalized like you did something wrong. That's not fair. But it also would penalize the person who pulled it, so they would have less incentive to do it. It would make sense. They're going to still lose the ranking points, so why even disconnect? There's no point. So in that case, people were deterred from doing it because everyone would lose, right? In the case where no one loses if you pull the plug, there's really no way to deter the plugger. So that's why they actually have reached out and tried to figure out who are the infamous pluggers, and they've done it. So here's the deal. Yesterday, Low Tier God jumped on Tekken 8 to do his nightly rage session of playing the game and literally plugging all night whenever he's about to lose. And he found out that his account was banned live.
But I thought you didn't like drama,
say,
Phil. So what does this have to do with your news network if you don't like drama?
What ends up happening is you can just make another PlayStation Network account. Yeah, you could just do a second account. And then you can immediately jump right back on and play again. The difference is you have to start from the bottom. You have to start your ranking over. So it is funny. It's the equivalent of, you know, man, you got punished. You got reset to 0. And now you got to play again from the start. But what's to stop the person from just doing it again? And especially if they're better at the game now because they've been playing it for a while. What's to stop them from just plugging over and over and within a week or two, get right back to the level that you were at?
That looks terrible on
right?
it too.
So it's not a foolproof solution. Essentially, it's a hindrance for these pluggers. It's not going to stop them from doing it, but it's going to make them deterred from doing it. You know, it's like an example here, right here on YouTube, okay? I have 24-hour subscriber-only mode on my chat. Does it stop trolling all the time? No. There's still people who can make troll accounts, come in and troll, and then they get banned, and then they have to wait another 24 hours because they have to make a new account for it to talk again.
Or they have multiple socks set up.
But it limits the amount of trolling. I think that's the idea behind banning pluggers, is we know it's not going to stop the plugging action entirely, but at least it deters the worst ones from getting ranks they don't deserve, and they're going to have to systematically, every once in a while, restart their rankings because we're going to keep catching them and banning them and catching them and banning them again. So, you know, there you go. That's interesting. It's never been done before in a fighting game. And
I thought it was done in fighting games before.
All of LTG's audience, and everyone made fun of him for it, of course, because he literally just does it, apparently blatantly in front of everyone. Like, literally in front of everyone, he just does it overall. And there's concrete evidence that he's just an infamous person doing it, and he got banned. But I guess what people were, at least as of the last time that I was looking at it, there were still some of the infamous pluggers, and they were still on there and weren't banned, and people are scratching their head. Why has it not banned them like the top people? Why are they still in there and not banned yet? So I don't know. I guess we'll see if they actually get those people or not. But I just think the whole thing's stupid. Like, I think that it is very dumb that sadly people could pull this off, and that it's got to the point where now devs have to take action because these people are so fucking desperate to have some kind of online recognition for a virtual ranking on a leaderboard. I mean, you have to be the biggest loser on the planet to be pulling the plug during a fucking online
Sounds like you,
match.
Phil.
Listen, I rage at fighting games. I lose at fighting games because I suck at them a lot of the time, okay? I get frustrated. I'll insult my opponent. I'll say very, very mean things. But I don't pull the plug. A loss is a loss. Even if people get it by underhanded means or spamming or whatever it is, a loss is a loss.
Or by you sucking, I mean, like usual.
Right? And I don't know how much of a fucking bitch you can be in life.
Oh, okay.
That you literally would pull the plug on a fighting game match. I mean, of all the things in life that you could have some responsibility for, right? To get away with responsibility, the fact that you lost an online fighting game match, you have to be the biggest bitch on this planet. And I mean that too. Anyone out there who's ever pulled the plug on a fighting game, you are a fucking bitch.
Didn't he do that with like Dark Souls or whatever? Wasn't there like a Dark Souls boss that he pulled the plug on?
Or responsibility in your real life?
I'm pretty sure.
Because if you're pulling the plug on a fucking fighting game,
I thought he did it with some video games back in the day too.
You somehow value your online rank.
You want to play the fucking game?
You are a bitch. And there is no way that anyone can dispute it. The moment that you do it,
yeah, Demon Souls, that was it.
If you're doing it publicly, that's even worse. You just proved you have no fucking manhood whatsoever. You're a coward. You're a creep. You're a fucking loser.
Good
Don't fucking
day,
pull
sir.
The plug on an online virtual game. You can't. I mean, wow. I can't fucking believe people would do that.
They're fighting words.
The lowest level of fucking manhood to do that. I mean, wow. I'm sorry. It's not. This is not directed at one particular person. Can you imagine the guy who apparently is top 3 in Tekken 8 ranked online? I mean, what a fucking life loser. This is all you do. You sit around playing Tekken.
What if he legitimately got there, though?
To fame in life. Wow, so now you're banned, so now what are you going to do with the rest of your fucking life?
Says the guy whose top claim to fame was 4th place winner at EVO. Huh? Wasn't that your claim to fame for the longest fucking time was 4th place winner at EVO, first North American winner at EVO, and all this stuff. That was your claim to fame, wasn't it, for a while there?
Holy shit.
Sounds even more pathetic.
Anyway, again, with as many losses as I've taken, as many licks as I've taken, as much as I've sucked at fighting, yes,
but it's all about me, though. Gotta bring it all the way back around to me.
I don't pull the plug because I'm not a bitch. Okay.
Yeah, you are a bitch, though, Phil.
That's the game news for today, everybody. I hope that you enjoyed it.
That's the news for today. Alright, let's see what we got here. Alright, I think we're gonna watch these 3, and then I think I'm probably gonna end it for today after these.
Well, let me tell you something, brother.
Because I don't wanna stay up too late here. There's some stuff I gotta do.
Sarah says, the problem is if you become virally popular, you'll have to lose your current niche audience. The fans of your content are not all.
That's never gonna happen. Don't worry, Sarah.
I don't know about that. But here's the thing. If I were to grow.
Here's the thing.
To the point where now I'm like, you know, bringing in so many viewers and the chat is going and there's so many people.
That's
there,
never
right?
gonna happen, Phil. Don't worry about it.
Definitely would not have the personal ability to talk with many of you like I do on a daily basis. I enjoy our conversations. I enjoy the fact that I recognize many of you in chat and we have kind of running jokes and things. You know what I mean? That's a nice feeling. It feels like it's a group of a community of friends or people hanging out as opposed to, oh, this is a crazy ass party room with a zillion people in it, bouncing off the walls, going nuts, going
what?
Freaking out, spamming memes.
I mean, that's kind of what Top Chat is for, isn't it?
Correct? That's a good thing. I like having a better organized stream. I've always enjoyed that, and I hope that you understand that. Like, that's why.
I mean, your chat doesn't really move as it is anyway, though,
to make
Phil.
myself get virally popular. Listen, I could, and the sad
No, you
part is
couldn't.
really good stuff. I would have to basically become like a lot of these other people who the only way that they can get attention on the internet is to make themselves a joke, to be dramatic, to be stupid.
You already did that a long time ago. It didn't work.
Purpose. I just stay in my lane. I just enjoy what I do as a you know, a basic thing. I don't rattle any trees. I just try to be here.
Rattle trees? What the fuck are you talking about?
I am what I'm doing with all of you. You know what I'm saying?
I don't rattle trees.
So I hope you understand that. There's a reason
I hope
for
you
that.
fucking understand that, you piece of shit.
I did have abilities to grow or try to jump on those bandwagons, and I don't want to do that, right?
I don't want to do that. Not like I could anyway.
Again, I feel like a lot of these games that go viral, right? They're not my style of game. It's for a different style of streamer. It's for a different style of content creator that I'm not. You know, I'm just not that.
Clearly you're
and
not.
That's okay. I think the problem right now with YouTube and Twitch and all that, everyone thinks that there's one way to do it. You should just do that and then you're popular. And if you don't do it, you're doing it wrong. That is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. In life, it is variety. That is the spice of life, as they say. If everyone just did exactly the same in life, life would be boring. You want people to be doing things in different ways for different kinds of audiences. I feel like the content I make is great for my audience. I don't have to play every viral game because it's not the style of content that I put out. People don't look to that. Look to me for that. You know what I'm saying?
They don't look to you for anything.
I definitely feel
the only people that watch your shit is your fucking hug box.
Exactly the way.
And even your hug box criticizes
you. You're
you.
not getting virally popular.
See, like Neil is saying, like, stop talking so much and just play a fucking
10
game.
years of failure.
But instead, oh my god, you're still talking about 10 years of failure. Holy shit.
Have a great professional life. 10 years of failure. Why am I a failure?
You're a failure
everything else
for business of your business. You're a failure
like them. That's
for being a content creator.
That was a choice to be a different kind of
this is such cope
that I'm okay with. If you're not okay with it, maybe you should look in the mirror and wonder why you want everyone to be exactly the fucking same.
Oh my gosh.
Obviously you don't have that level of like
But things
thought.
aren't black
You
and
just
white
think
though,
everything
right,
sane,
guys?
Everything good, right?
Well, they
every
always see the
actor
world in
who stood
black
out
and
there was
white.
pretending to be a
Okay.
Leonardo
Then what
DiCaprio
the hell
or a
do you think
Brad
this
Pitt.
is?
Not every musician is aspiring to be a Taylor Swift, right?
No, but
I don't
people
make
usually want
decisions
success
that would make me
usually
like
though.
that. I haven't done a single thing that would blow me up because I don't care.
Because you
I don't wanna be
can't.
like that,
You couldn't if you wanted to.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Peace
then.
God. Like, oh, this is all a choice now. So you're choosing to be a loser lolcow who the entire fucking internet makes fun of you. Okay, now we get it. Jesus.
Thank you. Glenn Alm says you can't be a failure if you sustain this amount of longevity.
Oh
Tweet
my
your
God,
way.
Glenn, shut
Thank
up.
you. But it takes maturity and intelligent thought to understand. Not a lot of people have that capability.
Oh, is
in the
that
modern day.
so? Okay.
People are just becoming stupid.
The only reason he
more
sustained
stupid
the
people
amount of
want-
longevity he has is because he's constantly begging and he curated his own audience of paypegs to keep giving him money. He hasn't done anything to earn the longevity that he has. And longevity alone is not a sign of success either. I would argue that people that retired early and don't have to ever work again in their fucking life and have a shitload of money, they are way more successful than DSP, who will have to do this until the day he fucking dies. Because he doesn't have the money. But because he outlived them all and he's still on YouTube and he's still making money, that doesn't make you a success, dumbass. It doesn't.
Watch the content from the stupider people.
Oh my
and it
God.
just
But yeah,
propagates more
because you-
stupidity. And there's nothing you can do
like,
about that.
Oh, my longevity, I'm still here. I outlived another person. I'm like, because you have to. You have no other choice. You have nowhere else to go. You're not going to get a real job. You're not going to have a retirement. You have no choice but to be here every fucking day making content, DSP. That's all you have. That's all you can do. Like, you have no other fucking choices. That's not a success.
The world will become dumber and dumber.
Oh my gosh.
I got the drip going. I got the drip going. I got the drip going.
Oh, but I could be viral if I wanted to.
Something, brother.
Sure, you could have.
Snort, snort, snort,
Call you drip.
snort, snort.
I got the drip going.
All jokes aside, do you ever consider your fans as your boss since your business is fan funded? If not, what title would you give them? Thanks for the content. Hashtag DSP politics to save the business. Ugh. Okay. Do you consider your fans as your boss? Okay. Fans and viewers are the customers. Okay. Not the boss, the customers. It's the same as if I operated any business, any independent business. out
Fucking
there.
give us that
Whether it would
sandwich
be
shop
A
analogy.
shop where people bring in their computers and people repair them and put them back out. A shop where it's a sandwich shop and you make food.
Fucking
for
there it
customers
is, the
coming in and
sandwich
you sell it to
shop.
The customers. It's what it is. The difference is
A
it's
fucking
not
sandwich shop,
paid
dude.
for upfront service. It's free.
A great sandwich
And
shop.
then you basically tip after the fact if you like the service. You understand? So that's really how it works. So no, not the boss. The boss is me. I'm the one.
I'm the
who
boss.
determines how to
Me.
run the business, what
Reed.
products I'm going to offer.
It's me.
hopefully
I'm the
making those
boss, not
appealing
any of you
to the customer base
motherfuckers.
and stuff like that.
You
But I
are
make
the
my
loser
schedule, I make
customers that
my
come
hours, I make
and
the content. I make the streams. I decide what to do.
Enjoy and eat up my
But-
content.
A person who operates their own business and does it well listens to customer
But you don't. So clearly you don't do it well because you don't listen to your customer feedback.
feedback. And that's what I've learned to do more and more over
But
the
you're
years.
not.
Take in
You haven't.
all of your feedback. Tell me what it is.
Every time one of his dents is like, hey, Phil, can you play this game? Hey, Phil, can you play this game? No, sorry, can't do that. Can't play that. Maybe later I'll play that. And then when one person asks him to play one game that he actually wants to play, then he'll spin it and be like, a bunch of people were asking me to play this game when really it was one person from 6 months ago that was asking him to play the game, and they long since moved on. And then he gets pissed off at his own fans for not supporting the playthrough when the people who were originally asking for the playthrough left a long time ago.
Like and don't like about what I'm offering at my business so that I can try to cater it more towards what you want. Now, the thing is, much like any business, I can't make everyone happy all of the time.
So your viewers are your customer. You're more like a supervisor to your customers because you're still working for YouTube. You, at the end of the day, Phil, you're still an employee working on YouTube. If you owned your own platform and hosted your own videos yourself, then you would be your own boss. But because you are working on YouTube, you work for YouTube. You are beholden to their rules and their terms of service, just like anyone else on YouTube. I don't get paid, but I'm still on YouTube, so technically I still have to follow YouTube's terms of service, just like everyone else that posts videos here. Phil. So yes, you're not the boss, you're an employee.
I can please this group of people today and this group of people tomorrow, but I can't just please everyone because everyone's different. Everyone's looking for something different when it comes to anything in life, right? You might like a chicken sandwich, the guy next to you might like a burger, and the guy over there might want a Philly cheesesteak, and that's, you know, that the store can't make the best sandwich for every person. Same thing here.
Actually, yeah, they can, because most sandwich shops or whatever have multiple different sandwiches to give. So the guy who wants a Philly cheesesteak, and the other person who wants a Reuben, and the other person who wants a BLT or whatever other fucking sandwich, they could all get their shit because the sandwich shop makes different sandwiches. They don't just play they don't just serve the one sandwich over and over again every fucking day. Because that's what you're fucking doing.
One person might like content that's
but you're not a failure, though. Sorry, I forgot.
One person might like, I don't know, action games. One person might like it when I play a more challenging game where I fail and rage, but I persevere. One person might just like chill gaming where I was laid back and I'm more interactive with you guys. You know what I'm saying? It's all very different, and it's all for different
and yet none
people,
of them actually cares about you.
Yeah, that's the truth is, you know, it's just like any other store. I got to figure it out for myself based on feedback from you. But ultimately, I'm the boss, and that's the good thing.
You see that little chest pat that he did? He's like, I'm the boss. I'm the boss.
Right? It's not me working for someone else for them to personally benefit on the work that I'm doing. I benefit from the hard work that I put in.
What hard work, Phil? What hard work do you put in?
Because
what do you benefit from? Begging people for money?
Based on my level of dedication and hard work, right? That's the difference.
What dedication? No, my God.
And fans are not my
boss. I was saying, all right, so I have an upcoming video, and I taught, like, so I'm not going to spoil what the video is or anything like that, but I do mention in the upcoming video that I'm still editing. But it's like I said, DSP, for all of his faults, deep down in his delusional, fucked up mind, his little black and delusional fucking heart, he honestly does think that he has given his fans quality content that they enjoy. And that's the only good thing I can say about DSP, is that in his fucked up, delusional, paranoid little fucking heart of his, he actually thinks he's doing a good job. Obviously, he's not. Obviously, he's doing the bare fucking minimum. But he's so fucking delusional, he honestly does think he's doing a good job and is actually putting out quality content to his fans. And that's the only positive thing I can really say about him, about that.
Boss, they're my customers.
He's not purposely, I don't think he's purposely trying to, like, he is scamming his fans, 100%. But I don't think he's purposely trying to. He doesn't recognize that he's grifting. He doesn't realize the grift. Because in his heart of hearts, he honestly justifies it and thinks that he's putting out quality content in exchange.
That I'm doing what it is that they want. Because if I'm making content that nobody wants, then I'm not going to have any customers come and pay for it, right? Exactly right.
I got the drip going.
Exactly right, dude. I don't know.
I got the drip going. I got the drip. Well, let me tell you something.
All right, hold on 1 second, because there's 2 things I wanted to look at. This one, what was the other one? Oh yeah, the printer thing I wanted to look at too, because that's been a little while. So we'll watch these and then get to it. So
Brother.
Snort, snort, snort,
Code. Drip.
snort, snort.
I got the drip. Go.
Hadley says, given your financial problems all the time, do you wish you could have done something different besides streaming? Let's make this clear. It's not financial problems. It's the fact that because I'm a full-time streamer, it's not consistent income. It could change in the snap of fingers, right?
oh, you mean it's not a
I was
stable
doing
job?
last year was going really well, and then this whole find a way to gift memberships for a penny really has hurt me this year. Okay, that's not, oh, you have financial problems. It has nothing to do with me. It's just the situation of being a streamer. Your income can fluctuate because of shit like that. Okay, but here's the thing. You say, this is what people say all the time too. Oh, you know, being a content creator on the internet or being a streamer, it doesn't make sense because it's just not safe. It's not consistent. It's not guaranteed. Wouldn't you rather have a salary job where you know exactly what you're going to make and how it's going to go?
Yes.
Well, yeah,
it's a lot more
for the
stable.
fact that, hilariously, that's not stable either. It's
What?
the illusion of stability,
Mhm.
so that people don't just freak out. In reality, it's much like
So
everything in
people don't
life.
freak
It's an
out.
illusion of safety to make you not be nervous all the time and be complacent. I've worked jobs where I had a salary. I worked at that helicopter company for 4.5 years. I busted my ass. I was getting
No, you didn't.
commendations
You really didn't
at
bust
the
your
job,
ass.
awards for going above and beyond. I was being presented in the front of all the employees of the building.
Oh my gosh, this is such a fucking retcon here. Holy shit. That fucking ACE certification, which like a lot of people get, it's not that big of a fucking deal. It's not like you're being awarded for going above and beyond. It was just like the next step in training type of thing. It's not that big a fucking
Okay?
deal.
And then in a few months, they laid me off. It doesn't matter.
Because
There
you're
is
probably a
absolute-
shit employee or they didn't need your position anymore. This type of thing happens, Phil. This is why unions are a good thing. Because unions help prevent you from being fired for no fucking reason. Phil. Unions actually protect workers' rights. But most jobs aren't union jobs anymore. And that's the problem. I'm lucky enough that because I work in a grocery store, a lot of grocery store jobs are union based, and mine is too. So my job can't just fire me like that for no fucking reason. They would have to have a reason. Now, could they probably make up some reason if they really wanted to get rid of me? I'm sure they probably could, but they still need a reason. And I know some states are, what the hell is that word for like states where it's like the employers don't need a reason to fire you? I know certain states are like that and certain states aren't, and it all depends on which state you're in, I think, for that. But I don't really remember what the name of that is.
Absolutely no
Right to hire or right to work or something like that?
100% safety or stability in life in anything. It is an illusion. All right. Are there some
An
jobs
illusion.
where
Yeah, but still, a regular 9-to-5 job is still going to be more stable than streaming on YouTube, Phil. Oh yeah, it's no one job is going to be 100% stable. No, of course not. No one is saying that. However, it's still going to be far more stable than being a streamer on fucking YouTube, dummy.
it could be considered more stable? Yes, but there is absolutely no guaranteed stability at all. I would argue the only way that you can be stable in that regard is to end up becoming filthy rich. Because once you reach a certain level,
Which you had oh my gosh. You had every opportunity to be just as rich as Keemstar and fucking all these other people. What the hell is that? Shane Dawson. You had every opportunity to be as well off as these people, Phil. you like over your 15-year legacy career, whatever the fuck you want to call it, you made plenty of money that if you had just saved it, you could be retired right now. But you chose not to, Phil. I have 2 people watching me right now. Do you think I could stream on YouTube for a fucking job? Do you think this would be more stable than my current job I am working at? No, it wouldn't be. Now, is my job 100% super fucking stable? No, no job is going to be 100% stable. However, it's still going to be far, 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 far more stable than everyone just running to YouTube to try to make a quick buck and get rich quick, Phil.
Level of wealth, it doesn't matter what you do for the rest
and
of
if you
your
had
life,
actually saved up your money that you made when you were making
upper positions,
crazy boatload amounts of money like you claimed you were back in the day.
By hard work. You're just not. That's not how life works, right?
You could be
all
rich.
Of us here,
you could have a yacht like you always talk about.
This is where we're going to be for the rest of our lives. We just have to accept it, all right? And you just do the best at what you do, whether that is a construction worker's job, busting his ass to build a building, whether it's a banker who sits there as a teller pumping out money.
No, you see, Phil, all these people you're talking about, they're actually doing a real fucking job. They are actually working hard and being a productive member of society, unlike you. There's a difference there.
Whether it's someone who does the internet.
Because a company is paying them money. You know who pays you, Phil? Your own dumbass fans that you're constantly begging towards.
Job, whether it's a content creator like me pumping out videos, streams, and playing games, whatever it is. You know, it's that grind and it's that business and it's that work.
But you don't do any work, Phil, unlike everyone else.
At any moment, you could lose your job and there's nothing you can do whatsoever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Mishael 24, whatever the fuck. It's all about living within your means, which is something Phil refuses to fucking do. His whole fucking career on YouTube, he refuses to live within his means. He refuses to cut corners, to make dinner at home for once instead of fucking door dashing 3 meals a day every fucking day of the fucking week. He refuses to actually lower his fucking spending and not buy a million fucking sweaty men JPEGs. He refuses to actually try to save money in case shit happens. He refuses to. Now, I admit, I have a bit of a spending issue sometimes myself, but I'm not nearly as bad as him. I make sure my bills get paid first. And I do have an issue saving money, yes, and I'm working on that. Because it is hard. Spending addiction is hard. Gambling addiction is hard. I don't have a gambling addiction, but he does. Like, he should recognize that he has an issue. And he should try to get help for that. There are places you can call to get help for a gambling addiction, Phil.
If I had known that I was going to have financial instability in this job, would I have done another job? Probably not. Why?
Because wow, so you're a fucking idiot then. He is literally admitting that it's like, well, if I could have foretold that 10 years after doing this job, I'd be in this fucking financial pickle where I owe the government like 90% of my fucking income every fucking year. Would I have gotten another job? No, I would have kept making the same fucking mistakes I always made. Would not have saved up any money or got a side job or side hustle or anything like that. What a fucking idiot.
There's a difference between loving what you do and having instability versus literally doing a job just for a paycheck and still having the same instability. You see?
It's not the same instability though, dumbass. You've never worked an actual day in your fucking life. Okay, you haven't. So shut the fuck up. You don't understand. Like, people like us, we actually go out and work for a living. Okay? We actually do a job. And obviously no one likes doing their job. Okay? And that's clear even Phil doesn't like doing his job. Can we admit that? Like, at one point, I'm sure he liked playing video games. But when you turn your hobby into your job, you lose all the fun and excitement you had for your hobby because it becomes a 9-to-5 grind. So even if you took the thing that you love and enjoy doing the most and you made it your job, you would not enjoy your job as much anymore. You just wouldn't, because you're doing it for a paycheck. Okay? But because I go to my job and I don't like my job, sorry, I don't like my job. Most people don't like their job, but they go to the job to fucking afford their bills, or to pay their bills, to make sure they have food on the fucking table, to feed their fucking families. And 90% of the other jobs out there are a lot more fucking stable than being on YouTube, dummy. Sure, technically in some states, there's like the right to work thing or whatever the fuck it is. Let me see if I can figure out what the hell that is. What is that? Like, sorry, let me just do a quick field trip here. What it is and what it isn't. The United States Constitution protects an individual's right to free speech and association, which is violated when they are forced to subsidize a labor union or any other private organization against the right. Right to work does that. Thus, employees should be able to choose for themselves whether to pay union dues or fees. Or right to work. So, not quite mandatory amendment. So, this is about unions. This is not what I was thinking. Okay, hold on a second. What is the thing where it's like... fuck, what the hell was it called? Sorry, I know this is boring really quickly. Let me just do it. At-will employment, that's it. The term at-will refers to the nature at which employers and employees can end their relationship. It means that at any point in time, a boss can fire their worker for no explained reason. So let's see what states are at-will employment. At-will employment states. We got Alabama, we got Alaska, Idaho, Maine, Nevada, Delaware, Arizona, Massachusetts, Georgia, New York, Montana, California, Louisiana, Florida, and Indiana. So no Washington. My state, of course, is at-will employment, because of course, fucking New York is. New York suck. But I'm also noticing that, like, quite a few of these are actually southern states, too. I don't know if there's a thing. Not Maine, obviously, but... yeah, California is, too. California, New York, Massachusetts, Alaska. Of course, Alabama is. But yeah, so you see, like, this is what I was referring to. At-will employment. So, for any reason, the employer can choose to terminate your fucking your job, or maybe your position just ceased to exist because the company's rearranging things and your position just disappears. It happens. However, it happens a lot less often than the stability of being on fucking YouTube. Okay, when you're on fucking YouTube, anything goes. It's totally up to the wind. Any 9-to-5 job is going to be 100% more fucking stable than being on fucking YouTube. And apparently, according to DSP, when you're on fucking YouTube, you just gotta beg people for fucking money? Because, like, oh, I'm a crowdfunded individual. I don't do this and this and this and all that.
At first, I liked what I did, and then they overworked me, underpaid me, and didn't appreciate me, and then laid me off. So, was it really worth the 4.5 years of stress? No, it wasn't. That was 4.5 wasted years of my life that they squandered because they misused me as an employee.
How was it wasted if they were paying you money for you to live? That wasn't a waste, dummy. Like, they were giving you money so you could pay your bills buy food, put food on the table, buy clothes, buy whatever the hell you wanted to buy with that money. That wasn't a waste. Like, DSP doesn't understand anything about, like, actual company loyalty or anything like that either.
Now that I get to operate my own business, this is much better. This is, like I said, this is absolutely the best job. The absolute best job that I've done in my, in so long. So, no, I wouldn't change that.
So I guess he doesn't give a shit about the detractors or anything like that because it's still the best job. So, I mean, good for him, I guess. So if this is the best job, then why do you bitch and complain so much about detractors and drama and people calling you out for this or that and all this other needless, boring drama and stress that you constantly seem to be putting yourself through on a daily fucking basis? Huh, Phil? Why is it like you are constantly letting all this stress get to you then, if this is the best job you ever had?
Financial instabilities I've had, I still think this is the best job I've ever done. Oh, Hadley, I would not say that. Hadley says, doesn't everyone just do the job for a paycheck? No. No. Not everyone just does a job for a paycheck. I do this job because I love games. I love social interaction. That's why I do it.
And because he can't save up and put money aside for retirement either. Because that's another thing, Phil. When you are working a 9-to-5 job, they usually have retirement options available. You can put money in a 401k. You usually get some kind of health care, or health insurance, along with it, Phil. But no, you got to pay hundreds of dollars for your own health insurance out of your own pocket. You don't get any kind of retirement aid or anything like that. You don't get a 401k. You don't get any of that shit. It's a very tumultuous job, really, if you think about it, because you don't get any of the benefits of actually having a real job. Like, granted, yeah, you're not going to like the job as much if you actually have a real job that you actually have to do. But at the same time, it's like, you don't get any of the benefits from it, though.
And then, if I can make money doing it, great. I did YouTube videos as a hobby for 2.5 years and never monetized a single one of them.
You fucking monetized your vlog channel, so shut the fuck up about that.
I just did it for the love of it.
No, you didn't. That's a lie.
Into doing it as a job in 2011, but I made videos from 2008, 9, and 10.
And you were getting paid for those videos from back then.
I got popular in 2010 before I made $1 on a video.
You were getting money from that. You are a liar.
There you go. Tiak says, yeah, not if you love what you do. People who hate their jobs just can't relate. And you know what? That's not me talking down to anyone who doesn't like their job. I have 1,000,000% been there in my life where I've had jobs that I just did them for the money because you have to. You have to get by. You have to provide for yourself. You have to provide for your family. You have to do what's right, right? So even if you go to work every day and you trudge it out.
And that's like, this person's right too. Like, people that go and watch streamers, people that go and watch content creators, they don't want to hear all this talk about fucking worse and work and money and stress. They want to go and watch the streamer so they can enjoy themselves and have fun and forget about life for a while. And then you go to DSP's channel and all he ever fucking talks about is money, financial issues this, financial issues that, taxes. All this fucking work. Like, he makes his financial issues and problems your problems. He puts that stress on you so he doesn't have to feel that stress. And it's bullshit. Because, like, people who actually have to work and contribute to society don't want to hear that shit when they put on a YouTube video or stream. I don't want to hear that when I'm watching someone stream.
You know what? You deserve massive props and respect if you bust your ass for a job you don't care for because you want to provide for yourself and those around you, you get kudos and respect
Yeah, if I wasn't getting paid, I wouldn't be playing this game right now.
for me. Because that's a hard thing to fucking do, to push yourself through something you just don't like because you know you have to do it. You're basically living up to your responsibility.
But it's pretty clear there are plenty of times that I have seen you on here and you did not want to fucking be on here. If it was up to you, you would not be streaming that fucking day. But you still fucking do. So what is this cope segment that you're doing? We're like, oh, I love my job. My job is so great. When in reality, you have turned your hobby into your job. And whenever you turn your hobby into your job, you lose any of the fun and enjoyment you used to get out of that hobby. You kill that hobby off.
It's a good thing. That's discipline, right? That's
and it just becomes another fucking job, another fucking 9-to-5 job without the stability.
And then you got an idiot like Raven who says, here's a quote from Phil, if I wasn't getting paid, I wouldn't be playing this game. You're right, I'd be playing other games that I like more. So what's your point? Dingus, you have none. Good job trying to nitpick a statement out of context and make me look bad.
Okay, it's out of context.
To the situation, you're just an idiot. Congrats on publicly embarrassing yourself on my stream.
Are you going to say anything?
Okay. Any last minute stuff, guys? Any last minute questions or anything here?
All right, that's it for that one. I gotta find this one. Where is?
No, see, I'm not banning him because I would like to see him say something else and embarrass himself further. Why ban him? Let's let the clown show continue.
I got the drip go. 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 I got the drip go.
It's like a faucet that's dripping. You can't make it stop. So what do you want me to do? Have a mute button that...
All right, so this is from DSP Reacts.
Interesting. Okay.
I don't like Asmongold. I'm not a big fan of Asmongold. But DSP is going to react to Asmongold, and I am going to defend Asmongold a bit here, even though I don't like him that much, because he has some pretty bad takes in terms of games, and we'll get into it. Well, we're not getting into it, but anyway. Anyway, so let's get started.
We have time for one more clip before we...
This is the last clip.
Split this part. Let's see what it is. Yes.
Okay.
The man, the myth, the legend.
Guys, a lot of you really liked the steak video. So... here we are doing another video. And I want to say that I apologize. I actually lied to you in the first video.
Wow.
I said I only knew how to make one meal. That's not true. I know how to actually make 2 or 3. I want to talk to you about the second meal today. As you can see with the title, probably. Today I'm going to teach
how I
you
cook
how
my
to make
$2
something
pizza.
that's a lot more exotic,
all right.
extravagant. And I hear from some people
7 months
this is
ago.
something that originated all the way over.
Yeah, look at the views on that too, Phil, huh? 1.7 million views. You'll never see something like that on your fucking videos, no, huh?
Oops.
And
I hate when I do
hit the
that.
button.
Hold on. I hate when I do that. I backed out in the middle of the video.
Idiot.
By, I want to just get that off the screen, and instead I accidentally backed out completely. Now I got to reset it up. Hold on.
Maybe that's because you're watching fucking YouTube videos on an Xbox, you dumbass.
Okay, here we go again. Okay. I got it to work. Here we go. Okay. I guess we'll fast forward. What kind of a pizza is it that he's about to make? Oh no!
Party pizza. Who's ready for a party?
Oh no!
Alright, so I am defending Asmongold here. I actually love these fucking pizzas. These pizzas are so fucking good, and they're only like $2. I'm telling you one thing. It's like, I have tried DiGiorno pizzas, and they don't taste as good as these pizzas do. I don't know why. Obviously, they're like not very thick. They're pretty cardboard-y. But these things are actually fucking good, in my opinion. And in my opinion, they taste a little bit better than those DiGiorno pizzas. They're like the more fancier DiGiorno pizzas. I mean, I say fancy, they're not fancy, but you know what I mean. Like, these actually are pretty good. They do taste pretty good.
Oh.
I am, so I am. The reason why we get Totino's pizza and not the other ones is just simply the price. Back in the day, these used to be $1. Now they're like $2 fucking, just like everything else that used to be $1 is now $2. You go to Dollar General, it's not Dollar General, it's $2. It's fucking ridiculous. I'm losing my mind. Yeah, and this is another thing before I get into the pizza thing. You see how all these fast food restaurants, we used to have the dollar menu and they changed it to the value menu thinking that we wouldn't fucking notice that? Nah, bitch.
He has a point with that, too.
79 cents for fries is not value. It's a joke. So anyway, I go down to the frozen section.
And you guys make fun of me for what I wear. He's wearing Pac-Man pajama pants as he does his video. So I don't want to hear your shit. This guy's about 40,000 times bigger than me, and he wears pajama pants, so...
Yeah, and you see the difference, Phil, is that this guy is living within his means, if not living within his means. So he makes a lot more money than you do, but he's still living thrifty, probably to save money for something, or to put money aside so he doesn't have to spend frivolously like you do. He doesn't fucking spend $30 to $40 every time he orders DoorDash 3 times a fucking day, 6 days a fucking week. He's actually living within his means. Something you would never understand, dumbass.
Too bad. I'm going to wear them from now on, too.
The only problem I have with his living arrangements is how fucking dirty his gaming room is, but that's about it.
And they have these different other types of pizzas, right? You've got DiGiorno.
Alright, anyway. Let's actually get to the pizza. Wait, what's that?
So
Oh, he's putting extra stuff on the pizza.
Ooh.
Oh, that's
Most
interesting.
importantly, 6th graders would know this as weed, but us that have graduated would know it's called oregano.
So he's adding cheese, oregano, and pepperoni to the pizza to make it better. Okay. I can definitely see that. Considering that pizza is gross as is, you gotta
It's
add
not that
something
bad.
to
It's
add
actually
some
pretty
real
good.
flavor.
Sauce in their pizza. These people are fucking gorillas. If I ever see a pineapple on a pizza, I throw it away as fast as I can. That way nobody
It's
will
not that funny,
actually-
actually.
Wow. Well, you're missing out, man. You're missing out because pineapple with ham on pizza is actually quite good. It's
And after you
unfortunate.
put the
I like ham on pizza, but I don't really. I'm
put
not a big
the,
pineapple fan.
What is this? Cheese. You want to put the cheese on there. And so we're going to put the cheese on there. Now, you don't want to overdo it with the cheese, okay?
You want to
The reason
overdo it on this
why-
when you're covering cardboard with cheese. You want to be sure to evenly distribute it. It's funny, dude. This pizza is so bad. Look at this. He's putting on the pepperonis, the ronis.
This pizza's so bad. You should totally only be spending less than or above $40 for a pizza in order to get really good pizza every fucking time, and waste all your money.
Where's he going? Where's he going?
There is, I know it's here.
You see how much he spends, wastes his money?
What is that?
The oven was in the wheelbarrow, which was with the clothes. So I had to, let me turn this off.
Do I even ask?
It was.
What is he
over
doing?
there, but we got the oven. This is the oven I know how to cook with. We bought this for $20 like 10 years ago, and it works great. Way better than whatever the fuck this is. So we'll just put the oven on top of the oven.
I'm at a loss.
And, oh, shit.
I'm at an absolute loss. He has a real oven and he doesn't use it. I don't know if this is just a thing he does for a video or if it's...
I mean, I don't use my oven, Phil. I have an air fryer and I have a toaster oven. So anything that I want to use an oven for, I usually use my toaster oven for. Unless it's so big that it won't fit in the toaster oven, then I have to use my oven. But my normal oven is so big, it takes forever to preheat. And it's way faster if I just use my toaster oven than my actual oven. I use the stove top on top of the oven. I use that all the time. But I don't actually use the big open oven hardly at all. So, I mean, it's just faster using a toaster oven, in my opinion.
It's true. Why would you use that thing instead of your real full-size oven?
Because it takes too long to heat up. It's too big.
Okay, the cord doesn't reach. Okay, give me a minute. I gotta think this one out. I thought I had cosmic brownies, but the box was empty, so I have to get more. Fuck, that sucks. Okay, anyway.
What is he doing? Oh God, is this it? Oh, he didn't put it in yet.
We're gonna take the pizza and we're gonna put it. Get this. We're gonna put it in the oven.
It's oh, that is so weird. What kind of fucking oven is that?
It's just one of those like bigger ovens.
An actual real oven?
Yes, Phil.
I've never even seen an oven like that in my life. My God. I've always just had a full size oven that I've used.
Because you've never cooked before, Phil. I've seen plenty of those things. They sell them at Walmart. They're not that expensive.
Jesus. Good Lord.
Forget about it. It says to turn it to
425.
I
don't want to read.
I think we just put it at like 400 or something, because like that's
actually
pretty high.
425.
Yeah, that's about it. And so like now what we do is we pretty much just sit here and wait for the pizza to cook. And whenever I say we wait for the pizza to cook, I mean that I go upstairs and I forget about it until it's burned. So what I like to do right now is I'm going to just cut, and we're going to let the oven do work. And then after that, we'll come back. And
almost looks like it's a crock pot, honestly, though.
Now, I want to say...
Is that a crock pot?
Almost everything that I eat and almost everything that I cook is all overcooked. I have a weird phobia of not eating undercooked food.
Really?
So, undercooked steak, undercooked... Like, I don't eat sushi.
Oh my God, he's so missing out on good food.
I mean, I don't like sushi either, to be honest.
Delicious. And listen, I'm someone...
Like, I'm not, I don't trust sushi. Like, I don't have the whole undercooked food thing that he does, but sushi just sounds and looks gross to me, and it's like a texture thing. I just, bleh. Exactly, Aaron, exactly.
I absolutely think it was gross. But once I started eating sushi, and especially poke bowls and stuff like that. Oh, that stuff was mad good when it's prepared right.
Look at how bad his leg is jiggling right there. That
for you.
Like he fucking has Tourette's or something. My God, that thing. Like obviously it's from his leg shaking. He's shaking his leg, and his hand is resting on it. Right? But holy crap, he has like he has like Tourette's where like his whole body just takes some control.
The best steak I ever had in my life was super expensive.
Will you shut the fuck up about sushi?
And it was tasted completely different than regular steak.
We don't care.
Superb. So, kind of, well, I guess it's sad that he has that phobia, because I think he's missing out on a lot of good cuisines by only eating overcooked food.
I do not.
I mean, I do like me some medium rare steak. Medium to medium rare?
You should.
At all.
It's delicious. So, no, you can eat whatever you want. I'm just saying he's missing out.
I like to make sure everything's cooked. And I always overcook. I never undercook. That's just how it is. Okay. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and I'm going to make sure this is still hot.
His stupid camera keeps autofocusing stupidly. Look at that. It's terrible.
Anyway,
and it fucking makes it annoying to watch.
Your camera used to do that too, dummy.
We'll see what it's like.
Because that shit used to happen to me too with cameras I used to have.
Yeah, it's fucking burned. Okay, big surprise. Burnt the fucking pizza again. Okay, so basically after you get done with that, you just take this top off and, you know, it works itself out with the heat over there. And then you need an oven mitt, and we'll use this one right here. And we put it on, you don't want to leave it on like the base of the oven because then you put it on this. And let's take a look at this fucking pizza right here. This is what you call a fucking pizza.
Oh!
So this gentleman right here was, fuck.
Oh my God, this fake crying is so lame.
Asmongold, you're killing me. I'm Italian, dude. You're
I am
killing
too.
me.
What is your point, dumbass?
Oh.
And you're not Italian. You're actually a fake Italian? You're 20% Italian, Phil. 20% Italian and like 40% Polish. So you're not a real Italian. Shut up. I'm more Italian than you, dumbass.
Oh, it's like someone just put a stake through my heart.
I wish they did for real.
Not only is it cardboard pizza, he overcooked it to the point where it's completely burnt on the edge. Oh, man. You know he ate.
But as I said, this pizza is not that bad. I don't burn it. I make sure I don't burn it because if you do burn it, it is kind of gross. If you burn it like he did, it is kind of gross. But if you get it at the right temperature where it's not too obviously it's not undercooked, but it's not burnt, it's actually pretty fucking good. Let's see, what was the other one? So got a real classic here.
2 games. This is not all of them. Now this is just my games that are out right
And
now.
anyone who's watched Tevin knows this video.
So let me show
And
you
now
guys
Phil's
the
reacting
production
to it.
and to see if we got the same style. I feel like I'm one of the best gamers. You know, we got that. This is classic.
Game
This
Day
is classic.
2003.
I got.
I played
classics.
Game Day back in the PS1. I played a few of the game days, but I never played the ones after that. Here's Red Dead Revolver.
Classics.
Hitman 2.
Classics.
Let's
I
keep
had that on
going.
PC, I believe.
Classics. Okay.
Into the
Enter
Matrix,
is a
classic.
classic. I don't know about
Classic.
that.
Fantastic Four, classic.
Lil B, baby, that's classics.
Madden,
You know
did I
it's-
say Madden 06? I couldn't read it, it was blurry.
Me.
Yakuza 2.
Yeah, I don't know, because like I know Phil was definitely like 50% Polish, 20% Italian, and something else, probably English or something like that. I know I'm 50% Italian and 50% German. But yeah, I don't know. He loves to pretend that he's Italian, and he only ever focuses on that, and he forgets that he's way more Polish than he is German. But he loves to pretend, oh, I'm Italian, whoa, and I'm like, you're really not. I'm more fucking Italian than you are. But he's like, oh.
Classics.
The original Yakuza 2.
Classics.
Resident Evil Outbreak is a classic. I don't know that about
But I have like
The Sopranos? I didn't even know they had a Sopranos.
sensory thing
It's
with
Sly Cooper's
the
in
way
that.
food feels in my mouth sometimes, so I don't like sushi
Classics.
because of that.
Yeah, GTA.
DVD.
Class. Final
DVD,
Destination.
Why are the DVDs in there?
Classic. Dragon Ball
Budokai
Z,
3?
Tenchi 3.
Tenchi? It's
Tenchi.
NBA
Tenkachi.
Street. Classic.
You didn't say it right.
We got Final Fantasy.
Says the one who's
You know
never
what
played
it
the
is.
game.
You gotta get that. You gotta play that.
Duh.
You know, we got Tom Clancy. Classic. ESPN when it was hot. Classic.
Classic.
Madden 09. Classic.
Madden 09. Classic. Huh.
Yakuza. Classic. Just Cause. Classic. Now we getting good. We not done yet. We not done yet. So don't.
I like how these are all stacked. You realize that just scratches the shit out of the discs, and he doesn't have them in a case or anything. They're just like stacked randomly. And they're just scratching the shit out of each other in a stack, destroying his own games as he shows them off.
Don't think we done. We just a little bit. This is PlayStation 2. Remember that.
Obviously,
This is
he's
my-
posing,
this is my
Phil.
pile. Kessin.
He
You know,
bought all
bringing
these,
back
but he
men-
probably doesn't play
okay,
them.
Max Payne. Classics. Manhunt.
Classic.
Classics.
Manhunt is a
You know what
classic.
it is. Lil B.
Metal
like I
Gear
said,
Solid
Metal Gear
2.
Solid 2.
Some of these are
I
classics.
mean, I'm really
would
playing.
agree.
True Crime Streets of
Never
Urban.
played
Crime's
True
good.
Crime, but I
Classic.
did play Sleeping Dogs, which was the
X-Men.
successor.
Classic. SmackDown
You got
vs. Raw.
wrestling
Classic.
games.
Let's go.
Look at this.
Wrestling games.
I had some.
Class.
Let's go. Urban Reign.
What the hell is
I haven't
Urban
played it
Reign?
yet.
I remember seeing Urban Reign on shows.
Virtual. Classic. Urban Chaos. I haven't
How old
played
is
it
this video?
yet.
13 years. So, this would have been 2011. Probably like 2011, this video's from.
Oh, your math skills are so good,
Vice
Phil.
City. Classic.
Classic.
Max Payne 2.
Classic.
Literally, all this guy did was move discs around and said classic. He got 333,000 views.
Oh, you jealous there,
around,
Phil?
Classic.
And it's still more entertaining than watching your shit. Funny how that works, huh, Phil? Classic.
Classic. Okay, let's continue. So,
All right,
Chinese-
that's it for that. Classic. All right. So I've been wanting to watch these two for a while. These are back 2 months ago when he was bitching about those printer that he had. And I never actually got to watch it, but I was wanting to for a while. So
good vibes to the
Shout out to
army.
Hey.
shout out to Hey.
Shout out to Hey.
Shout out for hate.
Nah.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Level 1 Podcast. I'm DSP, and today is my final consecutive streaming day of the week.
Yeah,
Wednesday-
Aaron, no, like, I'm not joking. Like, those Tortino's party pizzas are actually really good. As long as you don't burn them like Asmongold did, they're actually pretty good. Because, like, when I grew up, my family loved DiGiorno pizzas, like those, like, DiGiorno pizzas. But I didn't like the crust, that rising crust that DiGiorno used. I like the thinner crust pizzas. I don't like the thick crust pizzas. So they would always get DiGiorno pizzas, and it would just taste wrong. To me, it would always just didn't taste very good. So I would get the party pizzas, and I would make my own party pizza instead of their DiGiorno. Now DiGiorno has thin crust pizza, and I also like the Red Baron pizza is also pretty good. Like, those ones are okay because they're thinner crust and they actually taste better than the thicker crust DiGiorno ones. I didn't like that, so now there are better ones. But, like, growing up, they only had the rising crust DiGiorno ones, and I didn't like it.
The 27th of December.
But those pizzas
2023,
aren't
as
that
we are
bad.
Winding down to 2023.
Especially if
and
you
the
just
year
want
is
a quick
almost
little
over.
snack or something, or
The problems persist. Basically, today I'm very late. Like, usually I would start my podcast around between like 11 and 11:10 a.m. Right now it's 11:34. I've had nothing but technical issues in the last 24 hours. It's really annoying stuff that it happens every once in a while.
so he's been having
I
tech
don't think it's
issues.
anything
He's being a
lasting
boomer
or big,
right
it's just
here.
annoying. And quite honestly, it's nothing too huge. First of all, so yesterday, my new printer arrived. I've
guess you
talked
got a
about this
new
a
printer?
few times over the course of the last week or so.
See, I don't really
my
remember a
printer
whole lot
died.
about this.
And I've had a printer since 2017. And it's very basic. It was just like a flatbed scanner with quick, inkjet printer. Wasn't meant to do anything crazy, but I need it. You know, operating a business, I sometimes need to scan documents. So I sometimes need to print something out, a form, and fill it out and mail it and stuff like that. It just so happens
To
that
his tax guy.
I deal with a couple businesses and entities that live in the past. They live in the Stone Age, and they require you to actually have like physical printouts to pay bills and stuff, which makes no sense whatsoever, but it's just how it is with some companies. They lag way behind, okay? So I need a printer, and I had one since 2017. It finally died. Like, it just would not print black at all. Even if I changed the print heads or cleaned the print heads, changed the ink, still wouldn't print. Obviously, the thing's dead. So I just ordered a quick one over a week ago off of, like, Amazon, like the fastest one, and it didn't show up till today. You know, all the shipping with Christmas week and everything, it just kept getting delayed and wouldn't get delivered, and it finally showed up yesterday, excuse me. And then yesterday I hooked this thing up, and it says, oh, it works with Windows 7, Windows 8.1, Windows 10, compatible with like every version of Windows in the last 20 years. Don't worry, it shouldn't be a big deal. And I'm like, well, that's good because my PC is old and has Windows 8.1. I can't upgrade it because there's so many old components in there.
Yes, you can upgrade it. You would think, as a professional businessman who runs his own business, that he would fucking upgrade his PC. That is the one thing that if Phil came in his next stream and said, hey guys, I just bought a brand new PC, I would not be mad. I would not be like, you wasted your money on that? No, he needs a new fucking PC. He really does. But he's going to fucking scam his fans into getting a new PC. He won't use his regular money that he's getting from his fans to get the PC. He'll actually scam his fans in order to get it. But either way, he still needs a new fucking PC. At the end of the day, he 100% needs it. Because, like, how is he still running Windows 8? And even if you have old hardware in your computer, you can still upgrade to Windows 10 and it would still probably work fine. How you doing, JDX? How you doing?
From over a decade ago that likely they wouldn't work with Windows 10, so I'm not messing with that. But I just need very basic print
I
capabilities.
refuse
So
to
let's order
upgrade
some
my
cheap one.
devices.
You know, yesterday I came into my office almost, I would say, an hour before when I would normally start my gameplay stream for Like a Dragon Guiding. And I plugged the thing in, and come to find out, it has no software whatsoever with it. Zero. No disk. No, nothing. Just go to this link.
Oh, yeah, no, he's done that before. He had an Alienware laptop, and it was shit. And, like, if you look back in the history of it, he's had, like, pre-builts before, and they were, like, and, like, he had, like, a fan of his, like, make, he had 2 PCs before, I think. One of them, 2 fans of his built a PC, and the other one, another one, I think, was cyber-powered PC from back in the day, and they were both fucking lemons. Yeah, Rich fucking did offer him a updated PC with fucking Threadrippers, and he refused because he thought he would be in fucking Review Text Pocket or whatever the fuck that means. Apparently, he should have fucking taken it. And then I think fucking Rich, I mean, don't get me started with Rich because he's a fucking idiot too. But then I think Rich turned around and gave that PC to fucking Jay, and then he was holding it over Jay's head. So maybe DSP was right about that. Because, like, I think Rich gave that PC that he was going to give to DSP to Jay, and now Jay and Rich are having a falling out. So now Review Tech USA is holding that over Jay's head as like, I gave you that as a gift, and even though he really gave it to him to do work for him, though. But yeah,
okay,
he should have taken
so I go
it
to
still.
The link, and it says, all right, so did you plug your printer in? Yeah, it's plugged in via USB. All right, click this link, and it downloads files, but all it downloads is like drivers, right? It doesn't download like any software that you can use to use the printer. It just downloads drivers.
Well, it needs the
and
drivers,
says, all right,
first
so
of all.
The drivers are installed. Click here to print a test page. Okay? I click test page. Oh, sorry. Printer is busy. Can't print. It's busy doing what? I look down at the printer. It's not busy. It's just sitting there. And it's funny because this printer it has buttons. You know, you could actually do all the things you want to do with the printer through the printer itself rather than through software. So let's just see if I can scan a page. I go to flatbed scanner. I put a thing down, scan. Beep, 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 beep. Doesn't do anything. I'm like, scan. Beep, 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 beep. Does nothing. Huh? So what the hell's going on? I don't know. So basically, I spent an hour trying to get this thing to work before my stream yesterday. And, wouldn't work.
And you're an idiot.
So I started my stream late last night. Okay, apologizing to everyone. Sorry, I was trying to get this printer working. You know, it wouldn't work at all. After my late night stream last night, I restarted my computer. Okay, and I went back in, and I tried to print again, and it worked. So it needed a restart, but it didn't say it needed a restart. So the print works, but the scan, I can't figure out how do I scan, right? So I start searching my computer and come to find out, like, in Device Manager of Windows 8, you could see your printer, and if you click on it, and you right-click on it, it'll say, like, scan.
Yeah.
So I go to use the scanner.
Okay.
But the scanner is the weirdest scanner I've ever seen in my life. It's a flatbed scanner. So I say, okay, let's scan.
How does
like,
someone have
scan,
such
but it,
issues with something so basic as a fucking scanner? Come on, Phil.
Segments of the sheet you're scanning, and it separates them into different files. I was like, what the fuck is this?
This is
Why
this
it
is
doing that? I just
dumb.
want
You're
one
right.
File scan, just scan the sheet of paper. No, this quadrant is file 1. This quadrant is file 2. This quadrant is file 3. I said, what the fuck is going on? This is the stupidest thing I've ever seen, right?
They should have the options to choose the size of the bed of the scanner. It's probably not recognizing the full length of the flatbed scanner.
So then, I was like,
Oh my
well,
gosh.
what about if I just
This
use
is
the
pathetic.
printer itself? What if I don't even try to use any interface with Windows? So the printer says flatbed scanner, and again I hit scan. This time it works, and it scans it to my computer as one of those PNG files, and it looks great. So I'm
he has to tell his entire life story to his fans, and he doesn't realize that in doing so, he's exposing himself to the entire internet as how incompetent he fucking really is in life. How he can't handle even the most bare bones of a task. It's really fucking pathetic.
like, all right, so I can
I mean, we all know he is a boomer. You're right. He literally just learned that he could pause fucking recordings on OBS. Even though when you hit start recording, there's a big ass pause button right next to it. How have you gone 10 plus years recording shit in OBS and not seen that big ass fucking pause button right there? And now that he knows about that, he's taking full advantage of that. He's fucking getting up and walking around and doing all these things because he knows he can just pause the recording super quick. Like, what the fuck?
Print, that works, and I can either select color or black and white, and I can scan. That's literally all I need it for, right? But you would think that should have been like you plug it in, it loads in a couple minutes, it works. No, this thing needed an hour of me trying to figure out where all the shit was, restarting the computer and all of that.
He is so technological illiterate, and then he wants us to believe that he was actually building PCs back in the day. My ass, this motherfucker ever built a PC. Bull fucking shit.
A program that you can download that basically makes all this easier. It's called their Scan and Print Suite program, right? Oh, cool. Can I get it? No, it only works with Windows 10. So they sell a printer that says compatible with 7, 8, and 10, but the actual ease of use software for it only works with 10.
Yeah, it's still technically compatible with Windows 8. It's printing and scanning, is it not, Phil?
So there you go. So anyway, that was my night last night. That was
maybe, just maybe, in order to avoid this shit happening, you should update your fucking PC, dumbass. Why the holy hell in 2024 are you still fucking running Windows 8? Now, granted, a smart person would be like, wait a second, doesn't he have a laptop that has Windows 10 running on it right now? Yes, he does. He has a fucking laptop that has Windows 10 on it. So why can't you just fucking bring the laptop over and put it on your desk, plug in the printer scanner to that, and download the software and use your fucking laptop? Phil? Like, I have a laser printer, and it's in the kitchen. It's in the kitchen, surprisingly, for whatever reason. It's in the kitchen. It's under my. It's like I have a little stand. It has the microwave on the top, and underneath it has a printer. And my boyfriend's printer is it. My boyfriend's computer is also in the kitchen, and mine is in the living room. So if I want something printed, I can either send it to him and he can plug the printer into his desktop and print it that way, or I can bring the laptop over there and plug it in and print it that way. It's super easy. It's not that hard.
Technical difficulties. So after my stream was done, I queued up all my videos to upload as usual. All right. And everything looks normal. Usually what I do is when I finish my late stream, I queue up my videos to upload for that stream. I do my schedule, and that's it. And I spend the rest of the night, with my wife and go to sleep. And usually I wake up in the morning and everything's fine, right? No problems. I wake up this morning and I got multiple messages from people. Are you aware that only one of your 2 Like a Dragon Gaiden videos uploaded? The other one says it's there, but it's not. It's in the playlist, but it's not viewable.
Oh, you didn't babysit the upload,
After all that problem
Phil?
I just had last night.
Yeah, I don't know why Army does this with the multiple fills around here. It's actually kind of annoying a little bit.
It shows that the file uploaded
distracting.
55% and just stopped. But the internet didn't.
But I do have an extra printer scanner next to my desktop here, but I only use the scanner part because the printer part doesn't work anymore. But I just use this flatbed scanner because I do scan some of my drawings in there, and then I bring it to my computer and I ink over top of it with a tablet. So it's like it's all a whole process. But the printer part hasn't worked for a while on that. So
go out because you can see all the pages are loaded. It's not like it just the internet stopped working. It just decided to just stop uploading at 55% and it's just sitting there. Okay?
Oh yeah, no.
So I'm like,
and get this, JDX, like I don't think he ever actually shuts his computers off or puts them to sleep ever. Like he's mentioned before, he never actually shuts his computers off. Like I have my computer goes to sleep after like 3 or 4 hours. It like goes into sleep mode. And I do shut it off occasionally too. Like I guarantee you he probably hasn't updated any of the programs. Like you know how like your graphics card needs to update or different programs have their own updates and shit like that. He probably doesn't update any of that shit. He's probably, well, I mean, obviously he's not updating Windows anymore because Windows 8 doesn't fucking have updates anymore. So obviously he can't update that. But guarantee you all those programs he doesn't update either.
So what
so
can
of course
I do?
it's
Let me
fucking
try to
all,
resume the
you're
upload.
right, it probably is fucking memory issues because he probably only has like 6 gigs of RAM
I try
on
to
there.
resume the upload. It just sits there. It won't upload. I'm like, so is there something
like as
wrong
soon
with
as my graphics card has an driver update or anything like that, I'll instantly update.
So I go
that
to
shit.
speed test. I run a speed test. My upload's fine. It's fast. It's not my internet. There's
No, it's not your internet. It's your shitty ass desktop.
I tend to upload another file. That won't upload either. And I said, well, that's not good because if I can't upload, I definitely can't stream. So what the hell's going on? So I sat here for about a half an hour.
No, he doesn't know what drivers are.
Behind the scenes, I'm messing around.
I heard that. Like the first PC that those two people made a PC for, Phil. Like that PC actually would have been really decent if he actually updated all those drivers and shit. But he didn't know how to update the drivers, or is missing drivers, or something like that. So because he didn't know how to update drivers, it was kind of a lemon because he didn't know what the fuck he was doing to fully optimize the PC in general. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Can I try this? Can I try that? I honestly wish I could tell you.
Yeah, like
actually.
Oh, I can't upload videos, so I can't stream. Well, you can stream still.
Browser window and its connection to YouTube.
And if it's showing that
what I did is I basically
internet is still uploading,
and then I started fresh. Like I reopened the browser. I reopened this morning's stream. I reopened.
How much you want to bet he uses Internet Explorer as a browser? I almost guarantee he probably does.
Said, let me try.
He never actually.
And then it started working.
Tried a different browser or anything like that.
Is it true? Is it a way that if you're uploading to YouTube, you could get a dead connection on a connection, and you actually have to like force a fresh new connection?
God damn, you're such a boomer.
To get it to work again. I have never experienced that once in my life. I've been a YouTuber for over 15 years. I've never seen that happen before, but never fails to amaze me the nonsense.
It's always some simple issue that he overblows.
Finally, it was working. So basically, for those who
that he always turns
Darksydephil said
the issue like
Chrome.
overcomplicates everything.
Yes,
That's
I
it.
was using Chrome. So maybe there's
he was using Chrome. There you go.
Where uploads can screw up, and then you have to like completely close everything and refresh
and
everything
Chrome
for it to work.
Uses a lot of fucking memory, Phil. Chrome eats up your fucking RAM like crazy, and we all know he doesn't have much RAM to begin with because it's an older PC.
But the good news is it's working now. But I didn't have a chance.
How many tabs do you have open, Phil?
Guide in part 27. I got to like 10%. I was like, I gotta get my stream going. My stream's like 20 minutes late now because of all this bullshit. So, just so you guys know, if you're enjoying the Like a Dragon guide and playthrough, it will continue later today. There is a missing part that will go live on the channel on demand. Apologies for that. Obviously not intended. It's, more technical difficulties. Like, technical difficulties on top of technical difficulties making me late today. Okay? But I'm here.
But that's not it. We have another tech issue. Which I think I probably did the wrong order, though.
It's Hate Army, bro.
Hate Army.
Shout out to Hate.
Good vibes to the
Shout out to
Army.
Hate.
Shout out to Hate.
Shout out for hate.
Shout out to Hate.
Shout out for hate.
I think I did this in the wrong order, unfortunately. But what does the printer have to do with the stream? Doesn't work at all. I'm legit impressed at how bad this printer is.
not too happy, but I'm here. I've been trying to set up a printer, and it doesn't work at all. Complete bullshit. This printer that I bought says it works with Windows 7 through 10, but does not work at all with my computer. It doesn't.
Look at this alien motherfucker.
It won't print, won't scan, won't do anything.
I mean, this is just really... these are horrifying.
Oh, it's busy.
Really shitty AI.
Busy. Oh, I'm sorry. Can I come back later?
Oh, he's wearing his little cardigan.
This fucking printer that I bought, it's too busy to do what I bought it for. No, I guarantee you what it is this printer doesn't have any software that, like, is compatible with Windows 10 when it comes to, like, the ease of use software. You know how they have software that's like, oh, it's the easy, click here to do this.
Larry mentioned previously how he fucking uses his Xbox to watch YouTube videos for his React streams. Like, why the fuck does he use his Xbox to watch YouTube videos? It makes no fucking sense. The fucking Grinch.
It doesn't have that. All I did is install drivers. So basically my PC detects it. It knows it exists. It says, yeah, working properly. No problems. So then when I go to print, why doesn't it print? It says, oh, it's busy. Cannot print. Busy. How is the fucking printer busy? Like, what are you talking about? What sucks is I need a printer because, sadly, we live in a year, even though it's 2023.
I mean, I use Opera GX for my browser. I don't know if I don't know. I switched from Chrome. I used to use Chrome, but I switched to Opera GX.
Some idiotic places and companies and things still require you to print things. You can't just do everything online. I wish I really could. But I still have to every month I have to print certain forms and mail certain things.
God, his camera is so bad.
Incredibly stupid. Just really, really incredibly fucking stupid. Obviously that shouldn't be the case, right? But it is what it is. So I just tried, I plugged it. You think, oh, plug it in. Oh, by the funny part about modern printers, they don't come with software. They don't come with instructions. They just give you a piece of paper with a website. Oh, just go here.
But apparently it did come with software, Phil. You already admitted that.
Okay, it is. Oh, okay, click here, download some software. Okay. All right, so now it should run setup. So it does, and it says, yeah, your printer's working, and it doesn't work. You're done. You have no software you can use, not even like a program you can open, right, to see.
Doesn't Windows have like a built-in printer? Like, I'm pretty sure Windows has its own built-in printer scanner thing too. Like, I'm pretty sure they have their own thing.
Right?
Like,
so pretty stupid. It sucks. Sorry, that's why I'm late tonight. Here I'm thinking,
I got into Windows in the task manager and find the scanner.
I've had no issues with printers in the past. I mean, the last printer that I had here for, I got set up in 2017. That took like 5 minutes to set up. Literally 5 minutes set up, no problem. But we're in the year 2023 now, so things got to go backwards, right? Everything's going backwards. Everything is more complicated, less functional, right?
No, you just make things overly complicated.
That's just how life is going, right? I literally just bought a cheap one too. I don't need anything but basic printing and basic scanning. That's it. I don't need photos. I don't even care about the color. All I want this damn thing to do is basically to print a few documents so I could pay bills and, tax stuff once a year and scan for tax stuff once a year. And that's it. And it won't work. So nothing I can do about it. It's just very frustrating.
Nothing I could do about it at all. Nothing I could do.
I'm sorry. That's why I'm late by like 20 minutes because here I'm in the middle of doing it and just won't work. I'm like, now this is so stupid. Right now,
I think you're so stupid, Phil.
I'm gonna have to spend more time fucking with this thing. The only thing I can think of is restart the computer. It's I installed it. It should work right out of the box like that.
Oh, but we all know you're afraid to restart the computer, though. The computer
would fix it. That's the only thing I can think of. People are like, why don't you use wireless? I don't have wireless. I don't have any wireless setup in this room. There's no wireless connected to anything in this room.
What?
There is no wireless. The wireless you're talking about is downstairs, and that's just for like cell phone use and stuff. That has nothing to do. My PC is not connected to any wireless network.
That's stupid.
So whatever. So that's what I'm gonna do after the stream.
So he has 2 internet connections, 2 Wi-Fi routers, and none of his PCs are connected to wireless. You know how fucking stupid that is?
After we're done streaming and recording, I will basically restart the computer and mess with it more, and hopefully it works. And if not, now I gotta fucking repack and return this whole fucking thing. Then I gotta order another one. I don't know what to order. My problem is my PC is Windows 8.1. I literally can't update from Windows 8.1.
You can. You fucking can.
All the components are over 10 years old.
Doesn't matter. You can still. They can still handle Windows 10.
So all I can do is mess with it and try to get it to work. Now, if it doesn't work, the other option would be trying to get it to work.
And you wonder why he doesn't play PC games.
I'm trying to think like what would be the viability of that, because I do all.
Also, correct me if I'm wrong. Doesn't he have a mini fucking PC that he could fucking play? Oh wait, was this before that though? Actually, this might have been before that. Actually, I think he got that. When did he get his mini PC? In like fucking January or something? So maybe I might be wrong on that. Hold on. But like, if he had his mini PC at this point in time, which I don't remember if he did or not, but if he did, he could literally just hook a monitor to that and connect the printer to that. And you could print it off of that. You can print it off your laptop, your phone, hell, if you wanted to. You could probably connect to that.
Work from this PC, like paying bills, scans, emails, everything.
Maybe you should update your PC then, dummy.
It's not easily accessible over there. Everything's in front of my TV. I wouldn't be able to do anything easily from over there. That'll be a major pain in my ass if anytime I'm gonna print, I have to fucking turn on the mini PC and use the keyboard and mouse in front of my giant TV.
Yeah, see? He has a fucking mini PC at this point in time. It's not that big a pain in the ass to turn on the mini PC and use that, dumbass. Oh my god.
In order to fucking try to do anything like that because this thing won't work with my other PC. That is just so dumb. Really dumb.
It is a PC.
I guess we'll have to see.
Such a hassle to move to the other part of the room. Exactly, Fred
Enjoy
Roger.
your time out. And if you fucking talk shit again, you're not coming back. You're an idiot. Thanks. Okay. Anyway, let's get started with Like a Dragon, shall we? Tonight we're just doing story because there's nothing else to do. There's literally nothing else to do.
Nothing I could do.
So much side content in this game at this point. That there's really nothing
still some
else
time
we've done
left?
since
Is
chapter
still
4. We haven't gone too far because we just kept.
Or is
You're not
that
going to
it?
be cheated out of gameplay tonight. I'll around 9:30ish. We'll play 2 hours here. For a loop earlier, trying to get this printer working. Yes, we're trying to hit 695 members tonight.
This is definitely before the. What the fuck?
Ugh. Bucks towards the new printer fund. Yeah, I'm probably gonna. If this doesn't work after a restart, I literally don't know what else to do because the software they recommend, it's hilarious. It says this printer works with Windows 8, and then it's like, oh, download this new software suite for it. It's like Canon Printer Assist or whatever. Oh, by the way, it only works on Windows 10. What? But you said that the printer works with Windows 8. So why are you telling me to fucking download a program that only works with Windows 10? Right? Like,
Hate
okay.
Army, why have you done this?
And by the way, like I said, everything in my computer
Why are you doing this, Hate
claims
Army?
it works. It says, oh yeah, this is functioning properly and everything. So then why won't it do anything? Why won't it print? Why does it say it's busy? Why won't it scan? Well, it doesn't make sense. Anyway,
let me pick my
it is
notes,
what it
Amar.
is. I don't want to talk about it all night, but thank you for the first tip of the night. Okay, let's begin.
Let's begin. All right.
Excuse me. Okay. Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to Like a Dragon Gaiden. Has been a little bit since we played, about a week. We had the Christmas
All right, I
holiday.
think I'm gonna call it there. Honestly, I'm not caught up yet. I still got a bit of stuff to go over, but I've been going for about 3 hours now. I'm getting kind of hungry. Maybe I should actually grab something to eat now. Thank you everyone for actually watching. Hope you all had a fun time. I have to do probably a few more streams if I ever want to actually catch up, because I know I'm still far behind on a lot of stuff. I'm currently editing a video that should hopefully be up either tonight or tomorrow, so hopefully that'll be up. That'll be another side scrollers video. So that'll be fun. I anticipate a lot of butthurt side scrollers fans in the comments, but anyway. He really does need to just upgrade his whole fucking setup. It's fucking insane. But yeah, I got a lot of stuff I still need to catch up on. Half of the stuff doesn't even count. I've got to clean up this whole playlist. And nothing's really in order or anything like that, so I don't know. Anyway, I'll see you guys all later. Yeah, it's 11 o'clock here on the East Coast. Almost 11. 10 more minutes till 11 o'clock. And it'll be Friday. But anyway, I'll see y'all later. Have a good one. And take care. Also, like, what kind of weather have you guys had for the first day of spring? Because it is fucking freezing here. We have snow on the ground, and the wind has been bitter cold. Nothing like welcoming the first day. I know it was like yesterday that was the first day of spring, I think, but nothing like welcoming fucking spring in with all this fucking freezing cold, snow and shit. I hate it. I want it to warm up already.